bringing the hardest working writer in comics with it. From Clan McDonald Comics, Notti Nyce Reset, written by Dolan Waddick, aka Drew, and Marat Mychaels with Marat on art. It starts with a familiar beginning for the original Bad Girls, but by the end, they'll be thrown into a wild new world where nothing will ever be the same. This issue kicks off an all-new series written by Dolan Waddick and edited by Thinking Critical's own Arron Sparrow. The official launch stream happens Thursday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on Thinking Critical YouTube. Be there or be square. Sign up on Kickstarter now. You don't want to miss out. Link in the video description. Because the Bad Girls just got badder.
Bad Girls. I'm here with my bad girl, Drew, aka Dolan, aka Heavy D. What's up,
What
bad
are you
girl?
suggesting, sir?
It's 2025. So change of events from what was planned because, hey, guess what? Life happens, but we are here for our friends to be successful. This closeout stream was originally going to happen on Wes's channel, and we were going to have Arron leading the show. As I referenced, life happens. We had to make a quick switcheroo. So I am happy to step in and close out this terrific stream, this campaign with the one and only Drewski. What's up, brother? How you been?
Hey, yeah, I've been well. It's been a crazy and wild since last night. So last night I went to go see Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4 at Alamo Drafthouse, which was awesome. 4K, fully restored, awesome audio, visuals. My favorite of the Nightmare on Elm Street series. I'm seeing Part 5 tonight at Alamo Drafthouse. Watching college football right now. We're talking Notti Nyce. Read the best comics of the week. It's been fun.
Nice. Good to see you. We've got someone else in the background, so I'm going to go ahead and bring them in. But we have the one, the only, the award-winning Joe Corallo.
Hey!
Hello, Joe.
It's true. All of it.
I'm looking at your background.
Joe, I just want to let you know right now that what you have behind you is what I envied and wanted when I was a kid for God knows how many years.
Yeah.
You selfish bastard. I'm so angry.
Yeah, no, it's the original from when I was a kid. So there you go.
You know, I had all of them except for Wolverine and Cyclops.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Nice.
I remember walking by Toys R Us, seeing that every day in Toys R Us on the shelf. It's like $50 back in the day, I think. But you know, my mom was like, "No, not getting you that."
Yeah.
Wait, is that like a combo set or is that the individual?
It's it came in a box and
yeah,
it had all those characters like that. But I also had like they had the X Factor Cyclops too, that was the same mold. and had like a front chest piece thing that you put on him for no reason. But
was it like a gray thing? Was it like a gray thing you put over his chest?
It was something like that, but I think that was like the Secret Wars Cyclops action figure. And then I had a ton of these. The stupid Sentinel that had like barely any articulation. the Blackbird, the Colossus that had like the
his arms, you couldn't move them
go like this because he had the the big dumbbell set or whatever. Like, yeah,
I had that one. Yeah, and his hair was blue.
Yeah, and the stupid Nightcrawler that had suction cups, and I was like, I wish he didn't have suction cups.
Yep.
Naturally, all of us as kids, we cut off all the suction cups and just play with Nightcrawler as he was.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then there was the like later, that Magneto's the one that like you could spark his chest, because we all know how Magneto used to spark his chest all the time.
Naturally.
Dude, I forgot about that.
Yeah, but then there was I also had the other Magneto, which I think came out earlier, where like the helmet could come off.
Yes, I remember that one.
Yeah.
Yep, and it was a little more sculpted in terms of like musculature, I guess.
Yeah, and I mean, that as a kid is how I learned about toys. You end up learning so much about the toy business as a child, because your poor parents would then have to go, and then the people there at like Toys R Us, because there used to be a Toys R Us, not far from my parents, that it would be like, well, the Jean Grey Phoenix action figure, we only get one in a box, and like all this sort of stuff. So you have to come at like when we open, and maybe you'll get like all that kind of stuff. And I also Yeah, did you guys watch the Toys That Made Us documentaries like a few years ago? I remember I think it was around Thanksgiving, and it was a bunch of us, and my grandma was there too, who's still with us, and I brought up the Power Rangers one, and she just goes without missing a beat. I got knocked over at Toys R Us trying to get Power Rangers for you kids. Like, it was what a time.
Yeah.
I remember I had two brothers that worked for Walmart, and they ended up working loss prevention. So they'd walk around just in civilian clothes trying to catch shoplifters. Mm-hmm. And I remember the lead up of like different toys that would cause fights. And I remember there's always scuffles over action figures. But then there was Furby, and Furby was like a huge deal. And then like 2000, it was a Razor scooters. And I remember my brother came home one day and he's like, yeah, I had to break up two women in a full-on fist fight over the last Razor scooter. And I was like, oh, Black Friday.
So I worked at a Hollywood Video, and what was it? I wasn't here for this, but this other associate I worked with, Flo, was there for this. She's like at the register, and this man and this woman were like arguing about who goes next, and the guy just like cold cocked her and she dropped, and then like went up to the register to just like, as if like, oh, I'm just gonna, can I get like this movie, like insane. But yeah, no, crazy stuff. Do people still, since you brought up Furbies, do people still do like the long Furby? Look it up online. Like, there were people who were like, this is maybe a decade or so ago, they would like modify their Furbies and just like somehow sever it into like two pieces, then like stitch together like a long, so it would just be Furby, but it's really long. And it was just
terrifying.
Yeah, no, it's really scary. So like, look it up later. Like, just look up long Furby later and just be like, what is happening here?
It's like when all these like cartoon characters go public domain, Winnie the Pooh and Bambi, and then they get turned into horror films. That's what this sounds like. That's what's going to happen whenever Furby goes public domain, if it even does. I don't know if it can, but
yeah, I don't know, or but look it up later. It looks like something out of like an A24 film. It looks like maybe it's going to be the sequel to like Skinamarink or something.
Skinamarink.
Yeah.
I do want to let the people know why we are here real quick, because Joe came in honestly right as we were getting kicked off, but
for long Furbies, right?
Yeah, that's what this whole stream is about. Furby and long Furbies.
Excellent.
I just didn't know. See, that's the surprise of the stream. We're surprising the host. But no, we are here to wrap up the campaign for Notti Nyce, The Return by Clan McDonald. And, I've got to say, speak his name and he shall appear. We have Stephen McDonald that just appeared. I'm going to let him get set. He's getting set back there. I have some questions for Steve, too, because I'm wondering, there's got to be some relation going on here between the two of us. I mean, we spell it the same way. We're both ruggedly handsome. It's got to be relation. He's shaking his head no in the background. Okay. Oh, I don't know if that was 1 minute or he might be 1 minute. So let's go ahead and pull up the stream real quick, and I'll give Steve a minute to get set back there. But we are coming to wrap up the campaign for Notti Nyce, The Return, which, Drewski, you are writing. And I'm going to pull this up. I have the link pinned in the chat. We are less than $200 away from 25K, which, if you've tuned into any of our previous shows, you know that I selfishly am hoping to get a bookmark. So I would like to get to that 25K. But Drew, for those that may not know anything about this book, that may not know anything about Notti or Nyce, do you want to real quick give a background of Notti and Nyce, because they're existing characters, and then maybe kind of segue into what you're doing?
Yeah, so Notti Nyce was created by Terry Sala and Marat Mychaels quite a few years ago, in the early 2000s. They did it as a very tongue-in-cheek series, about girl spies assassins and who worked for a guy named Father who had a Santa Claus fetish. That was it in a nutshell. It was a very tongue-in-cheek series that it was just very much one and done books. Nothing really taken too seriously. Very lighthearted tales, but very sexy covers. And the sexy covers sold well. And there's no denying that. But a couple years ago, Marat and I chatted at Chicago Fan Expo, and he wanted to take Notti Nyce in a more adult approach, a more adult-centered story. And he asked me what my take was, and I said, all right, I got 3 arcs planned. This is what happens in Arc 1, Arc 2, and Arc 3. And he said, all right, I love it. Let's get to work. I'm like, okay. All right, that's it. So literally right after the show ended at Chicago Fan Expo, I got to work. I started writing away, and I already have over 15 issues written for Notti Nyce, the next series. Wrapping up the 3rd arc right now. And like it takes into a much more serious, grounded approach. Granted, there are some, there's still a lot of humor, there's a lot of action, intrigue, but I wanted to really flesh out the characters in Notti Nyce because they're pretty much blank slates. They had interchangeable dialogue. You didn't really know who was who if you didn't have panels up. But I really wanted to distinguish what made them separate from each other. One's younger, one's older. One is more jaded. Another one is more, keen on doing the job. Another isn't so good at sneaking around. Another one is. No, one hates it. One doesn't like it. Just really give them really good personalities and fleshed out. And I really feel like Arron and I have done that here. And I really feel like with this issue, Notti Nyce: The Return, when people read this and they see what we're setting up for the ongoing series, they're going to want to stay in, be all invested, and see what we got coming.
Absolutely. And you mentioned Arron. So Arron is working as the editor on the book with you, and you guys have been working together, and you have a history even with Drew going back. I mean, with Joe going back, doing some editing and writing.
Yeah, 3 years. 3 years at this point. Yeah, we're going back. Yeah.
So, go ahead.
Oh, just because it's been an absolute blast working with, learning from Joe. I mean, you have Joe as an editor and writer, co-creator. I mean, you got to take his advice. You got to take his edits. What he suggests. You got to more or less bow to that experience. It's like, crap, he's right. Yeah, he knows what he's doing. And honestly, if Arron weren't here, if Arron weren't involved, Joe would be the guy. There's no doubt about that.
I will, and this is to give you credit, Drew. I've dealt with a lot of creative people, a lot of writers, and they can be very headstrong. Their way is the right way. And I will say the entire time I've known you writing, you've been very open to feedback and notes and eager to just learn. And that's something we've talked about before is when you come in, I think we've all been involved with comics in some way for years, reading it, writing about them, whatever it might be. But when you step into a writing role, it's different. Or maybe you've written for a different field and then you step into writing comics and that medium is a different medium. You've got to learn. And then I feel like you've always been very open about good feedback or good notes that you've gotten and taking those and learning from them. So kudos to you there. But,
thanks, man. Yeah.
Joe, do you want to talk about just how much of a prima donna Drew is?
No, I'm lucky. Drew was easy to work with. I've worked with people who aren't. That's not what this is about. I'm not going to go into that. But yeah, no, it's it was a lot of fun getting to do Board of Blood, and we've been talking about some other things in the future, so we'll see how things shake out, schedules, and if things happen and when they happen, but that'll be fun. But yeah, I mean it's been good. I mean, the only thing I think that's I guess a little annoying is that Drew has gotten better over time, and I worked with him early on, so it would be nice to be attached to something that's a bit stronger, but that's fine.
I love it. We do have Steven here. He's ready. I'm going to go ahead and bring him in. So, ladies and gentlemen, from Clan McDonald, we have Steven McDonald in the house. How are you, sir?
What's up, guys? Sorry about that. I had some audio issues I had to fix.
You're all good, man. Trust. Oh, like we're used to it. It happens.
Well, and I don't have
regularly.
I don't have my tech support Aaron Gress here with me to fix me, so I had to restart my phone.
No worries. At some point during the stream, you're gonna hear Drew say "towel rack," and it's because my mic has gone out. And then someone inevitably in the chat is gonna go, "Damn it, Josh!" So it'll happen.
No problem. Hey, are we distantly related or something?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. I don't know.
Irish or Scottish McDonald?
I'm sorry?
Irish or Scottish McDonald?
So I'm a little bit of both.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So I'll send you. I've got family tree stuff. I'll have to partner with you outside of this and send it to you.
I need to stop everything here.
Sure.
You're Josh. You're wearing headphones and you leaned in as if that was to help you hear better.
Yeah, I caught myself. I caught myself doing that, and then I literally, what the hell am I doing?
Here's something.
Yeah, go ahead.
Here's something funny. So I can't see you guys for shit right now because I'm watching this on my phone, and you guys are all minuscule. I have the smallest office in my company. And I have the cheapest monitors in my company that do not have cameras on them or anything. So I've literally set you guys up on my desk here right in front of me. So I'm going to be putting my cheaters on, my old man glasses here in a minute to talk to you.
Oh, you know what? Hey, that's fine. I'm young and I've got them too. So
he's got the peepers. Yep.
I've got the peepers.
I don't know what that's like because my sight's too good.
Oh, okay.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's great having Joe Corallo here today.
But if you do that, people aren't going to be able to see my incredible hairline.
You do have a good hairline. I've seen you in person. It's a
mine's pulled back. Mine's pulled back on the
pony. Yeah. Steven, I do want to ask because I think you played a large role into making this book happen, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Marat's been literally one of my best friends, going on about 10 or 11 years now. When I actually first started getting back into collecting and started my business, he was one of my first artist friends that I ever made. So we've been working together. I've been buying and slinging his books for many, many years, all the Counterpoint goodies. So I was. He asked if we would be, if we wanted to be partners on this and team up and be the fulfillment center. And I keep cringing. I'm ecstatic as far as where we're at on the Kickstarter. But oh my God, look at all the orders that we're going to be fulfilling. my poor crew.
Yeah, it is. So what? 445 backers. Like that's awesome.
It is. It's amazing. We actually did our first Kickstarter together for another company that Marat, Sajjad Shah, and myself teamed up. I actually own a publishing company called Tartan Publishing, and Marat and Sajjad had been writing another comic called Cause and Effect, and that was our joint effort. We own that title together. It's a three-way split, three-way partnership. And our first Kickstarter went unbelievably smooth. I've got one of the best staff here for shipping and receiving. Guy's been with me for probably about 4 or 5 years now, and they do a great job.
Nice. So I'm assuming that after you and Marat talked, I guess that's when Marat kind of pulled Drew in at Chicago Fan Expo. Is that where you said Drew?
Yeah, this was back in 2023, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, this goes back away.
Yeah. See, Drew's writing so many books that I've gotten to where I just try not to talk about anything anymore because we had so many streams where I'd be like, oh yeah, and I can't wait and I'd start to say something like, oh shit, can I talk about this? So I try to stay quiet. But I remember because Drew, you worked on the Notti Nyce and Vampirella crossover.
Yeah,
is that correct?
Yeah, I wrote the Notti Nyce meet Vampirella and Red Sonja, which was an absolute blast. And honestly, and elements from that book are picking up in this issue, Notti Nyce and Return. So
nice.
If you want to see like a certain plot point that comes up in Notti Nyce: The Return. Like, wait a minute, where's this come from? Oh, it's Notti Nyce meet Vampirella and Red Sonja. That's where it all started.
Awesome. And then as far as art on the book, who's covering the art duties here?
Who are the artists?
Yes.
Let me see if I can find it up here. We've got an amazing list here, unless Drew finds it quicker than I do.
Are we talking about covers or interiors?
Interiors.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, Marat, and he did a lot of the original pages. Jacob Bear helped him out a little bit with the finishes, and I keep forgetting, for the life of me, the colorist who did the colors. But
and I don't remember that either, Drew.
Yeah. All I know is that he did a fantastic job because they've been completely recolored from the original #1, which is what's great about this issue. There are a lot of the pages are very similar to the original #1, but brand new dialogue, and about halfway, 3/4 of the way through, it changes. The plot is changing, and we get entered to the whole new world of what's going to be happening in this series.
Sean Lee.
There we go.
Sean Lee. Awesome.
Yeah, Sean Lee.
Sweet. Yeah, I know that one of the things Drew has been really excited about was just kind of like he mentioned this earlier too, but some of the changes implementing the kind of like depth and character that he's getting to add to each of these lead characters to help differentiate them and add some texture to them. So I'm really looking forward to this, and the fact that I think, Drew, you started off with a 6-issue story, and then you said you've actually even moved on beyond that now. Is that correct?
Yeah, so I have 3 arcs planned. I'm already finishing up volume 3 right now, the 15th, 16th issue right now, and things just get things. Each volume is different in their own way. You know, each one focuses on a different character. So volume 1, it focuses on Notti and Nyce initially. Volume 2, it's more of a Notti centered story. Volume 3 is a Nyce centered story, but we're getting to learn more about the characters and their backgrounds.
Awesome. And I am going to pull up some of the interior art real quick, so I don't know if we want to cover it, but these are some of the interior pages here. So I don't know if you want to give a tease of maybe what's going on in these pages.
Well, they're on a mission from their leader named Father. Need to possibly take out a target. They're not going to say who or what, but a little later on, they notice that something is different. Something is very different because when you're reading this, it's like, wait a minute, this all looks the same, but about halfway through, I don't want to give away what happens, but things change.
Nice. And then, Drewski, I will ask you, you're writing so many different things right now, so many different genres, so many different types of characters. Is there anything for Notti Nyce particularly that you pull for either inspiration or maybe like, oh, I think if we have influences of this or nods to this, it will work well for Notti and Nyce?
It's having like siblings, writing them like younger and older sisters, but who are very close at the same time, best friends, but almost like sisters. And not just that, but I don't want to say too much that's going to spoil things in the subsequent books, but I've reached out to other people who are at certain points in their lives, who have certain elements going on, and asking them, hey, does this feel real? Does this feel true to you? And a lot of them have said, oh my God, this got me. This really got me choked up at this point. I'm like, yes, I got it. So there's a lot of real world, or I should say a lot. There's some real world feelings and points that people reach that are going to be in this story for these characters.
Nice. Very nice. We will continue to kind of go through the campaign and look at the book and discuss it. But while I've got people here that are so ingrained in comics, I kind of want to ask some questions too, just that are general comics questions. Maybe in particularly, what got you started with your love for comics? Because I think everyone has a different starting point and something in particular that made them go, oh, this is a medium. So I'm gonna start. I think I'm gonna start at the bottom with Joe, if he's cool. And sure. We've got each of you guys are creators in your own respect, but what made you kind of find your love for comic books?
I mean, for me, it was the Archie Sonic the Hedgehog comics, because that's what got me into like collecting them. That's what got me into being aware there were a lot of comic shops in the area, dragging my poor parents to comic shop after comic shop to go through back issue bins, and like that got me into that aspect of comics, and a lot of it was just I was a fan of the games, and finding out about that at a friend of mine, Brian's like birthday party in like 3rd grade. He gave some party favors to some people, and one of them got some Sonic comics, and I was just like, what's this? And that really got me into the hobby. Like, I got a subscription that was like mailed to the house, like all that. So it really got like all these different facets of it. And then from there, I later got into Marvel more consistently with the Ultimate line, Ultimate Spider-Man, Runaways, when I was in high school, because I would try a little bit here and there because I loved like the cartoons, but it was like, oh, I like the Spider-Man cartoon in the 90s. And then you go pick up a comic and it was like the clone side. I'm like, there's like 2 Spider-Men and they're fighting the female Doc Ock. And I'm like, what is happening? What is this? And it was very difficult to follow. And X-Men also, like, forget it. Like, at that time, it was so difficult for someone to follow without already kind of being ingrained in it. So it took a while from there, and like high school was like that, and like, Watchmen, Dark Knight Returns, and things like that. And then over time, getting more into it from there.
Nice. Steven, what about you? When did your career in comics start, I guess?
My career, or when I started collecting? I'm 58 years old. I collected back in the 70s and 80s. Junior high school is when I started getting into collecting comics back then. Predominantly Marvel, John Byrne era, X-Men.
Nice.
Spider-Man, of course, was one of my favorites back then. Avengers. But my career didn't start for many, many, many years later. I actually stopped collecting 100% when I went to college when I was 18. Did some stupid stuff. I actually took most of my comics to Florida with me to college, and unfortunately sold some really nice comics that are worth a lot of money nowadays for pot and alcohol to party in college. And I kick myself every day now owning a store and thinking, my God, I wish I had that Hulk 181 back that I had, and all those old comics. But I did not get back into comics until my youngest kids were probably 9, 10, 11 years old. And all the badass Marvel, DC Universe, movies started coming about, and we had a nice big local comic book store, and they used to have me take them into the comic book store every few weeks, and I just got sucked right back into it. Made some amazing, with the world of Facebook, made some amazingly awesome friends that bought and sold on Facebook. One of my oldest comic friends started taking me to conventions, and we'd meet up at conventions, and then ultimately I was very lucky. I actually jumped into it, and he taught me the ways I wanted to witness and do signatures like he was doing. And got hooked up with CBCS. That was my very first grading company, and I've stuck with them ever since. Took it a step further. I actually got to do a lot of private signings with Stan Lee. Met Marat, of course, who introduced me to Rob. Doing private signings with Rob, and it just blossomed from there, man. I mean, for lack of a better word, it just went crazy with me meeting artists, meeting agents, and going crazy. My first love's always been art of the comics. I'll be honest with you, I do not read hardly at all anymore. I don't have the time. I actually still run a sales desk full-time during the day as a full-time job, and I have the business here, so I have very little time to read it all. But it's the art that always sucks me in. That's why I own so much original art, interiors, covers. That's my first love now.
Yeah, I'm with you on the original art aspect of. I would say that's something I started getting into the past few years. At first, it was collectibles, like let me get collectibles, and then it moved into kind of the finer collectibles, the more expensive ones, and then the original art. And I'm like, this just keeps getting more expensive, but it's totally worth it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
yeah, it can get it can get a little pricey.
Indeed.
I keep I collect all types of art. I'm a big fan of Scott Hanna. I love his inking. So I have a lot of blue line art, which is always a lot less expensive than original pencils and inks. Danny Mickey's the same way. I have a lot of Danny Mickey original art who does gray line inking. He does very little original inking anymore. There's not a lot of artists that actually will get the art pages FedEx to them and ink over the original pencils anymore. There's still some out there, but not as many as there used to be. But then, like I said, I've been very lucky and blessed in who I've worked with over the years, and I've picked up some amazing pieces. Walt Simonson has done me right. George Perez was one of my favorite men in the universe. Not only some pieces for myself, but like when my wife had cancer many years ago, he was sending us Wonder Woman. We call her our Wonder Woman because she beat it. So he, and my buddy that I work with, Spencer Beck, would tell him, how big of a fan, we are of Wonder Woman because that's what we call my wife. So all of a sudden next week I get a 9x12 Wonder Woman, to my wife, Wendy. It was dedicated to my wife and everything.
That's awesome.
Jason Metcalf, Marat Mychaels, so many friends I've made over the years that have just done some amazing art, and newer kids, I call them kids, but newer, younger artists doing all the conventions that we do. I'm so blown away when I'm walking down the aisles and there's this guy that has nobody in front of his booth. And I'll stop and I'll start flipping through his portfolio and be like, holy crap, this stuff's awesome. How are you not published yet? No, I never really push it. I just do the conventions. This is a part-time gig for me. I'm like, wow, we got to do a sketch op together, dude.
Nice. Absolutely.
And I've got that on my wall. I mean, I've got pieces on my wall. I don't know if you guys can see it or not.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we're leaning in for sure. Oh,
John Fabiano. I don't know if I got it in the camera or not.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
Very nice.
Shadow, yeah.
Yeah, Batman in Shadow. I mean, he was just a younger artist that I met and commissioned him to do a couple of my favorite characters. Batman and Shadow are my two jams.
Nice.
Heck yeah. I could have a field day in your office, if I'm being honest.
I don't want to screw up the thing here, but we're actually going to be having a contest pretty soon. I'm going to do this. I'm going to turn around with it. So this is my little 12x12 office.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Oh, look at that sword.
I love that Phantom bust. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So my little claim to fame is that my second cousin is Don Newton, who used to draw. Yeah,
Nice.
he used to draw for Charlton, DC, Marvel. So we're gonna have a little contest pretty soon in my Oh, this is one of my favorites by a young man named Johnny Desjardins. Let me see.
Oh yeah.
Don Newton was one of my favorite Batman artists. I think if Don Newton had lived longer, I think he would have been one of the definitive Batman artists.
He was amazing. I've got just about everything that he did that was published in my personal collection. Of course, the Phantoms. I've got the Phantom 66 through 70 covers that he did for Charlton. Got a lot of his older monster titles that he did for Charlton. I got the Avengers annual number 9 that he worked on.
Nice.
Some really fun stuff. I also own a couple of original pieces of art that I've been fortunate enough to get that he worked on too.
That's really great.
But no, the contest, this is going to be fun because I do have so many awesome, artists that I call friends. We're going to have a contest, and I'm going to sit down one day and actually go through and document who all is on my wall. And then we're going to see who can guess who's in here the most. It's going to be a close tie. I've got a lot of Marat Mychaels goodies. I have a phenomenal amount of Scott Hanna, Ryan Kincaid. It's going to be a fun little contest.
Nice. All right. Awesome. I gotta bounce now. Everyone, enjoy. Thanks for having me. Good luck with the campaign. You'll get to 25,000. That's nothing. So
thanks, Joe. Hey, Joe, I gotta ask you a question real quick before you bounce.
Of course.
Has anybody ever said you sound like Jeff Goldblum on a microphone?
Life finds a way. So,
Oh my God. Joe,
thank you.
Thank you for hopping on. It's good to see.
Yeah.
I still got to call you. We got
No problem. Yeah, no, we'll figure it out. We should do that next week. Everyone enjoy. Talk soon. Thank you.
See you, Joe.
Thank you.
See you, Joe.
Bye, Joe.
I had to do it.
Yeah.
The whole time I'm listening to his voice, I'm thinking I'm talking to Jeff Goldblum.
The funny thing with Joe and Steven, I don't know if you've ever done streams or seen him on streams, is we'll be talking about comics and somebody will reference like an obscure something random comic and he's like, oh, and then he'll bend over and he'll like bring out this collection or omnibus or whatever. He's like, yeah, got this. I got it signed by so and so and so and so and so and so. And then like 10 minutes later, you mentioned something else. He's like, oh. And it's like, where is your magic bag of books, of endless books? Because you look like you're in a closet. But yeah, I love Joe. I love having him on. He's always a good time, and I'm glad he came here. Real quick before we get what got Senor Drew involved in comics and I guess loving comics. We do have the link for the campaign pinned into the chat. So if you haven't backed the book, go back the book. If you have backed the book, hey, go share it on social media. Like we've got roughly an hour and 20 minutes or so left before the campaign ends, and we're trying to get past that.
Sure.
Yeah, trying to get past that 25K.
242 to go. $242.
Heck yeah, it'll happen. It'll happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we do have 63 people watching currently, so thank you guys for tuning in. Feel free to share the link as well. If you've got people that love comics, love indie comics, whatever it might be, make sure they know that we're here so they can come learn about this book.
Now, are there comments popping up that I need to push something on my phone to see comments or no?
No, we're gonna go through those in 1 second. I was giving some people some time to go through, but we do have some people popping in here. So starting off, we do have the link there. We've got John Eppel in the house with What's Up. So what's up, John? Nice to see you. I think you're new to my channel, so welcome. Do you guys know John?
I know John. Yeah, he's a good artist. He's a talented artist.
Heck yes. Welcome, John. We also have Zax in the house. Zax is one of my dear friends, definitely one of my biggest supporters, so I appreciate him in life, but also on YouTube. And he put, I like surprise Josh. Yes, this was a surprise today. We have Jacob Ironside, who has a great channel covering films. Go check him out. Wonderful friend. Cajun Corey, who is always a rock here at PBC. Congrats on the campaign, Drew. Can't stay. Got to watch some football.
Can't blame you.
It's okay. That's what I was doing before we started. And I don't know if LSU is playing or not, but if they are, Corey, I hope they win for your sake. Let's see. We've got Salty, the man himself, Salty Traveling Sea, coming in with Back This Book. Salty has let us know previously he has already backed this book. He's been a huge supporter. Another guy that just loves comics, and I would say loves comics. This is going to sound crazy, but for the right reasons. He wants good stories. He wants to support good writers. He wants to support good artists. And he's constantly hitting up different conventions and just like really kind of ingratiating himself into the industry. So good to have him here. And Zax is still here. I love it. Drew, let's go ahead and what got you into comics in as far as a fan, and then how did you get your start professionally in comics?
So my journey begins all the way back in first grade. My uncle, he ran a magazine and comic book distribution plant in Indianapolis, and every week he would come to our house. We didn't live too far from there. He would bring us a big brown box of all the damages. He would just bring us boxes of all. I mean, we're talking back in the late 80s, early 90s, like early Image. He had, 0 Hour, Death of Superman, everything going on. And we're like kids in a candy store. We're getting all these for free. And we're loving them. But my first two books I ever read and loved were Adventures of Superman 453 and X-Men 166. That is so Adventures of Superman, that issue. That was when I began my love for Jerry Ordway. To me, he is the Superman artist, the Superman storyteller. And X-Men 166, that was Paul Smith on the art for, doing the Brood Saga. And that gave me, it forever burned in the back of my eyes, is the panel of Cyclops getting his visor cut off. And you see his eyes bugged out like the Brood. and that's where I just knew I love comic books. I got to have more of these.
Nice.
Drew, I didn't realize you were. I didn't realize you were from Indiana, Drew.
Yeah, Indianapolis. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna pick your brain here, and you might be too young, because like I said, I'm 58. I actually grew up in Noblesville until I moved to Florida. I claim Florida as my home state, not Indiana. But so when I was growing up, the place that we would go to was in Indianapolis called Comic Carnival.
I go there every week.
It's still there. Fuck.
There's up off Keystone. Yeah, it's still there.
Yeah. Wow.
That's
awesome. So I know the old owner has since passed, because I do have a couple of friends that used to go there. But there was a gentleman that would just sit and talk to us kids as long as we wanted to sit there and chit chat and talk and everything. He was one of the best comic book store owners I had ever met. He was just an amazing guy. Older guy when I was first going in there back 40 years ago. So
nice.
Yeah, it's still a great store to go into. It's every week, every Wednesday. It's always busy in there, and so I'm always trying to find the right time to get in there when I can just get in and get my stuff, and I don't have to fight around people to get my stuff.
I'm ecstatic that it's still around. I really am. That means that's awesome.
Yeah, especially with the past few years and so many comic shops struggling. It's
well, it's great. I love it for the fact that the strip mall that it's in, the little shopping center. All these like stores, restaurants, a lot of them have gone out of business, new places coming in and going, but the constant has been Comic Carnival. It is still there. I love it.
Heck yeah. Yeah. My local shop has been in our town, I think, for 31 years, 32 years. And they've moved location, I think, 2 or 3 times, but it's been awesome because they keep moving to like bigger spaces. So you're like, yes. But yeah, I think once you can get that staple there, if you can keep it, it's always just it feels nice to have something that feels like a staple of a city. So
I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but we are literally opening to the public for the first time ever. October 18th is our grand opening. We've predominantly been an online business for the last 10 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Started in our basement. Me and my boy Colin worked in our basement. Ultimately brought stuff up and not only filled up the basement, but then we started bringing stuff into the dining room, into the foyer. When I got to the kitchen counters, that's when my wife says, no more. Go find a building that you can do this stuff in. And we got our first brick and mortar about 5 years ago. And then COVID hit, and we had these grand dreams of opening to the public back then, and never got around to it. And then got extremely busy with the online business, and just the entire front of our store got filled up with inventory, and just we knew where everything was, but for somebody to walk in, it just was not conducive to walk in traffic. So we never did it. Fast forward to about 6 months ago, we found this building that we're in right now. We moved back in April, and got everything set up over the course of a couple months. We had a soft opening, so we have our hours updated. People can actually come in and shop now. But our grand opening, which I'm excited about because people are finding us, on Google and just popping in, which is it's our dream come true. Especially my daughter and her boyfriend Aaron. They've wanted to be open and have people coming in and shopping for years. So this is great for them. They run the whole place during the day. So
heck yeah.
Josh. Aaron's a good guy. I've met him at several conventions. Yeah, he's a worker.
He's my right hand man. He runs the store. He helps with all the most of the marketing that we do. This is a kid that literally 4 or 5 years ago just started dating my daughter and would come in on Wednesday nights and help me do live streams, slinging new books, Wednesday new comics. And I think he had a little bit of comics when he was a kid, younger, but didn't really know that much. And he's a friggin' genius. His IQ is like through the roof, and his ability to retain artists, writers, information just, blew me away. He knows more than I do about, the current, state of the business and everything, who's working on this and that, recognizes signatures, which is insane, recognizes, styles, which I'm pretty good with styles. recognizes styles, but yeah, he's a great guy. He wears several hats here.
Awesome. We do have SP Card fan hopping in. He said, just wanted to hop in and say congratulations, well deserved, and looking forward to reading it. So yes, sir. I think there's many of us at this point, but thank you for dropping in, and thank you for the support. John Epple also put, all it takes is that first comic to blow your mind. Completely agree. Agree. I will say I started reading comics thanks to my brothers. I've got 3 older brothers, and they would collect and read. And I'm in a small farm town in Texas. So for us, especially back in the day, the comics that you got were dependent on what the gas station would throw on the spinner rack. So, come and go as you please. But it was always a gamble of what they were going to actually be selling. And I remember Batman the Animated Series came out, and I was born in 88, so this is probably like 93. And I thought it was the best thing ever. I was like, oh, this is fantastic. And I'd already watched the Batman 66 series. Like, it would come on Sundays. But to me, this was like, epic. And then my brother's like, oh, yeah, there's comics. And I was like, what do you mean what are those? And he's like showing me his collection of comics that he has. And it's just like, but of course it's the 90s and they thought they were going to get rich. So he's like, yeah, no, if you're going to read these, I'm going to read them to you. But that was my start to comics. And then I think because of that, I became a huge Batman fan and would read mostly Batman and X-Men growing up. And then I stopped around junior high. And I didn't pick up comics again until after I had graduated, moved, started my career. And I was working a corporate job and pulling like 12 to 15-hour days. And I hated my life because all I did was work. So I was like, this sucks. And I remember it was around the time they had relaunched New 52 or launched New 52. And I'd heard a lot of people talking about Scott Snyder's Batman. And I was like, yeah, I'll go check it out. And that then turned into I need to catch up on everything I missed, and blew through God, I don't know how many books, and then started covering books professionally shortly after that. So here we are, being a bunch of nerds. So I'm gonna pull up the campaign again real quick, and Drew, I do want to kind of go over some of these covers that we have. So the cool thing about Kickstarter is you can kind of like build what you want in a way, like go through and pick and choose.
I'll let Steve. Steve, you want to take charge with this? Yeah, these were your gets, or
we've got some of the most amazing artists in this campaign. Of course, Marat did cover A, for the campaign. Mike DeBalfo is another artist that Marat and I've worked with for years. Ryan Kincaid is probably one of my oldest friends as well. With Sanju Navagnoon, who did colors for him. Piper Rudick, Drax Gal. Again, Jacob Baer did a cover also on this, and Elias Chatsoudas. And then closing it off, man, Ebass, go ass. Could not have a Kickstarter campaign without Eric doing a cover. Again, I keep bringing it back, and I apologize for repeating myself. So the group that you see that I just listed off are probably some of my oldest comic book friends there are. Eric, I owned my very first cover sketch commission was done by Eric Basildua. It's a X-23 cover sketch that I bought from him at Wizard World Chicago about 11 years ago. And we've been friends ever since.
Nice.
Yeah. So no, there's some gorgeous covers that I think I can see you've been scrolling through some of this stuff, right?
Yeah. Well, I've got us up on cover A right now. So this is Marat's cover.
Yep.
And if we go down, we got cover B, which is going to be
Mike DeBalfo.
Yep.
Yeah, that's Mike's cover.
Yeah, I think this is actually one of the ones that I ended up picking up because Bazinga. And then we got cover C, which when I first saw this, I went, that looks like, and I named a certain wrestler. And Drew's like, I will neither confirm or deny. Ryan Kincaid's cover here, and I think you definitely get the vibes of Nice, but maybe a little bit of Naughty in there. Coming down to cover D, this is where we really kind of start getting into the hey.
She is one of the best Notti and Nyce artists because she can so get both the naughty and the nice out of her characters. Piper is just an amazing artist. One of these days, I'm actually gonna. She's an amazing tattoo artist too. One of these days, I'm gonna have her do a tattoo for me. Yeah, she's unreal.
I could see her doing some incredible tattoos for sure. Like, yeah, there's a, it's really interesting when an artist can capture realism, but also not go so realistic that you get that uncanny valley, and she seems to capture that pretty well.
Yep.
So. And then we've got cover E here, which I think this was the first image I ever saw of this this run, and this is Draxcal's cover.
Yep.
This is my favorite one. I'm sorry, so if I were to be a backer, I'm not saying if I am or not. If I were to be a backer, I would have bought 1, 2, 3, maybe covers of these because I love this cover.
For sure. Well, we're going to talk about that. There might be additional versions of these covers here in a second. We'll go down to cover F. And we've got Jacob Bear and Matthew with this cover here. And again, it's another action scene. And that's one of the things about these two covers too. You're getting a sense of the action aspects here. So I think, the fun thing is when Drew and I talked about this book, throughout the campaign, there's the sexy aspect to it, but there's a plot and a story here and some action, and these are some kick-ass females. So coming to cover G.
Elias.
Yeah. Yes. So I like this one because it's just a completely different vibe. Like the aesthetic of the cover itself feels different. So yeah, good work here. And we're gonna come down to cover H, and this is Ebas, and this is definitely one that I picked up. So I know you're kind of singing Ebas's praises. Do you want to talk about Ebas a little bit?
There's not really a whole lot more to say. I mean, he's literally always been one of my favorite artists. You got to be a little bit patient with him sometimes if you're doing commissions. But man, is it worth it? He does such an amazing job on the female body. It's insane.
Yeah.
And the naughty versions of these are just incredible.
Yes. So we're getting into maybe see some of the naughty versions here, which, yes, you're seeing some shocked face emojis on here, but those aren't on the actual covers. So
no.
This is just for the sake of, YouTube and the campaign and covering our butts. But yeah, as you can see, there are definitely some, if you want to go a little more risque, because look, when you're in crowdfunding, in indie comics, this is kind of the name of the game in a lot of ways. So, but you definitely have some options here, as you can see, and you can kind of pick your poison. And there's other, we'll get to it in a second, but there's multiple versions that you can get: the nice, the naughty, and then I guess the ultra naughty, which you can kind of see here.
Yep.
And then I especially like this because this is a fun, at least these images are like a fun take on, oh gosh, why can't I think of her name now from Batman?
Punchline,
yes. Oof, it's been a day. And it looks like you can get different types of I guess, covers in terms of the craft. So you can get the paper, the foil, or metal.
Yep.
And I will say, if you've never had foil or metal covers,
get one. Buy one.
It's so worth it. Like,
yep.
find your favorite. I will say, if you're getting a foil, something that usually has good pops of color, it just looks so incredible. And then if you're getting a metal, man, find your favorite and get a metal. I didn't understand until I actually had some and had them in my hands, and I was like, this is insane. So
I will say too, this is and I could be corrected, but I think I'm 100% right. This is the first time Elias has done a full nude cover.
Oh wow, very cool.
Yeah, he'll do topless. He does quite a few topless over the years, but there is a tier and option. You can get the full nude. Down below, you can see it under the Elias. What's it called? The triple set.
Nice.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, the one that's saying that. I was like, wait a minute. I think he's right about that. Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
We are gonna pause for just a second. So just a reminder, if you're seeing something you like, the link is pinned in the chat. Go to the Kickstarter, go to the campaign, pick up whatever you're looking for, back the book. We'll definitely appreciate it. But I wanted to pause because we have the one, the only Nerdy Girl Creates in the house. What is up,
Hello.
Carrie? How are you?
Hey.
Good. How are you?
Carrie, I haven't been on a stream with you in like a year plus.
I know.
What's
I know,
up with
it's crazy.
that? We need to have a conversation with Wes.
It's mostly been me.
It's mostly been me too. Don't worry.
It's been kind of like I kind of like became jaded with a lot of stuff in entertainment. I had to like step away and just kind of like find my joy again.
Yeah, fair. Absolutely fair. Carrie, for people that aren't familiar, well, I think this is the first time I've had you on my show too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, we had plans, but then things happened.
Yes. And look, those plans are still something I would love to get to at some point. So, Carrie, you have your own channel, and you have a big focus on manga. So I don't know if you want to talk about what you cover and what your loves are, but go ahead and do that real quick.
I do. I love manga a lot. I'm really into shonen the most, which is the action adventure stuff like One Piece, Bleach, Jujutsu Kaisen. Like, I do cover some shoujo. I kind of like to get into stuff that I'm not really big in. Another thing that I've really gotten into, and I'm going to be covering more in the show, and I was starting to do that before I took my break, was manhwa, which is like the Korean equivalent of manga. There's a lot there that's really good. There's like even some that have just recently been adapted into animes. So that is definitely something I'm going to be covering a lot more. Plus, tonight I'm going to be doing my first video game stream. And that's going to be Stellar Blade, which is a Korean video game. So look forward to that.
Heck yeah. And then I'd asked everyone earlier, like, what was your start for either comics or manga? When did you first kind of jump into that?
Well, with comics, it was Wonder Woman, George Perez. And it was because my mom let me watch the Linda Carter show. I'm old, so I know the Linda Carter show. And so I segued into that. But with manga, it started more with anime and then led into manga because a lot of anime is based off manga. Like the early days, Vampire Hunter D. Then it, like, I got into One Piece late, but that's another one I really like a lot. I keep reading. Another good one was Hellsing. And also, I really liked Samurai Champloo. If you've ever watched that, it's a good anime. Plus, the manga is pretty good, too.
Did you say Samurai Shampoo?
It's like Champloo. It sounds very simple. Yeah, it's from the guy who did Cowboy Bebop. It's actually a really good anime. So
Heck yeah, awesome. Yeah, I still need to dive into manga, and I have not done it yet, but I need to. I do want to pinpoint on something you said because I think it kind of plays a role in why we're seeing so many Kickstarters and indie comics come about. But you mentioned just having frustration with certain things. What was frustrating you that you were reading or watching? Give us a little insight into that.
Quality.
Yeah.
And quality is being affected by checklists and lack of creative talent. I mean, I think the only thing I watched recently on Netflix outside of Korean dramas was Wednesday. Everything else I was just like not into because everything seems so very like bland, and it's kind of like, hey, look, we've got this, we got that, we got that. I said, yeah, you got everything but story. And it's like you can't keep my attention with just constantly checklists. I need something more to it. I need substance. And the same thing with comics, which is something we've talked about a lot on Wes's show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that we started seeing this massive decline in quality, less of a focus on storytelling and character. And I think, that's why you've seen so many people move to indie comics in one form or another. Having these comic book campaigns, if you go back, 5 years ago, maybe a little bit further. It was such a small niche thing, and it's grown exponentially since then. And then Drew, I know one of the reasons you wanted to start writing comics is, reading DC and Marvel, the big two. There was so much that was just like, gosh, this is one wasted opportunity, but why are we continuing to go down this path of not caring about the product that we're putting out? And I know that everything that you've worked on and you've come in with the I guess expectation of, I want it to be fun, and I want it to, or exciting. You should pick up a comic and you shouldn't just have talking heads for 20 pages. Like, something needs to happen. So maybe, Drew, you can talk about what's inspired you from a writing standpoint. And we've discussed writing before and coming in saying, like, we want to write something that's better than what the big two are putting out.
I'll say the one guy who's really inspired me the most, who's really I want to try to emulate the most, is Mark Miller, because I think Mark Miller is the guy who's really he's nailing home runs with what he's doing. Whether it's his Nemesis series, the King of Spies that he did, a big time. I think it was the big crossover he did. Huck. These are all books like I want to emulate and inspire to be like. I want people to pick these up and be blown away by the action, the plot, the twists, the turns, the dialogue, the characters, and I want them to keep coming back. They're not just a one and done. I want you to be so invested. You got to see what happens next. You got to know what's going to happen next.
Absolutely. And we're talking about it just from I guess like an indie and campaign standpoint, but you started seeing this from mainstream creators as well. Like, the main reason Ghost Machine exists is because Jeff Johns was having to fight so much to either, one, tell a good story, or just get people to call it back. Freaking Jeff Johns, it's wild. But I think we kind of met a situation where it was like, okay, cool. If the main outlets aren't really going to be there for us, then we're just going to embark on our own path. And I think seeing professional creators do that, but also a lot of these indie creators step up and do their Kickstarters or their crowdfunding campaigns and be successful, only inspired other creative people to step up and want to do the same. And I think that's why you're seeing so many successes come out of this. And I would say continuing to grow. I mean, Drew, if I look at you and the books that you've done, you're growing in what your campaigns are bringing in, but you're also growing as a writer. I think you're diversifying yourself as a writer. So I think it's cool and exciting. And, I think it's nice too, that when you feel like you're a part of helping bring something to life, whether it's you're actually creating it or you're the fan going, no, I believe in you and I want to see you do this.
It's the greatest thing, like there's a lot of projects I've already written so much into. I haven't been paid for it, but because I'm that invested into it. And because I believe in the project. One of the books I believe in the most is Depths of Valor. It's a World War II action adventure story I'm writing for Steve Finkel, who owns a Comic Mint. He told me the story about it, and I'm like, oh my God, I have to tell the story. I have to write this story. And he never knew really how to bring it to life. So I've helped him flesh it out, bring it to life. And at New York last year, he had longtime friends that were friends of his, who knew about the story. They're looking at the pages, they're like, "Oh my God, you actually did it! You actually did it!" And it's a great feeling to know I was a part of that. I helped bring it to life.
Absolutely. I'm gonna share a convention story real quick, but before I do, that Subhuman 84 in the chat, and he said Dolan needs a tan. Listen, I don't know if you can tell, but I cannot say anything. So
yeah, me either.
It's my Indiana tan. That's what that is.
Yes. Drew, and this is honestly Drew and Steven. You're gonna hear my dog whining. There's someone parked outside my house right now, so apologies. But Drew and Steven, I want to talk on the importance of work ethic, especially from a creation standpoint. And I will say this: at Dallas Fit Expo last year, Drew and Marat had kind of pitched an idea around, and then Drew and I were at an Airbnb together, and then we went back, and Drew was there for like maybe we were back at the house for maybe an hour, and then Drew came down and was like, "Hey, so I've got the rough draft of the script. You want to read it real quick and put some notes?" And I'm like, what in the you've only had time to come home, change clothes, and poop. Like, what are you doing? Holy cow. But just
In that order?
I mean, sure,
that order.
probably. Yeah, in that order. But I just remember being blown because I write slow. I'm a slow writer. So the fact that Drew's like, let me throw this down and then we're gonna like improve it from there. I was just like blown away. But just I guess in general, being able to say like, hey, this is the idea. Let's get it. Let's conversate. Find out what the story is. Okay, let's throw it down. What do we think? Let's get notes. Okay, let's adjust. Okay, what about artists? Like you have to have a good work ethic to go from concept to execution of the script to bringing in an artist to then getting cover artists and then especially leading an actual campaign itself. It's a lot of work.
A lot. It's a lot of work, a lot of concentration, a lot of time. You have to know where to focus your time the most. You have to really prioritize. You know, what's going to be the goal today? What's going to be the goal tomorrow? What's going to be the goal this morning, this evening? And I think, Steve, you can agree with that too, right?
Yeah, 100%. Prioritizing in my life is huge. Like I said before, I run a sales desk during the day. I'm usually awake and up about 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, letting the dog out. I'm at my office at my desk by usually 5:30, 6 a.m. Cheating, doing a little bit of comic stuff first, getting my messages answered from all the Europeans that like to message me throughout the middle of the night on Messenger. Get that out of the way, and then I start with my Post-it notes. My entire desk is just like littered with Post-it notes that I can hopefully rip up and throw away throughout the day to get them knocked out. With regards to my day job and to the comic business and talking to the kids and making sure this got done and that got done. It's tough. It's really tough. I do want to interject something though. I have been blown away since day. This is the first time I've ever worked together with Drew on a project of this magnitude like this before. If I ever want to do anything on my own by myself, with or without Marat again, that guy is getting hired to do all of my marketing. I have never seen, I'll be honest with you, I have never seen somebody so invested in marketing something as much as you, Drew. I mean, I can't go a day or two without seeing you posting something else on this platform, that platform, this page. I'm like, holy shit, I didn't even know this page existed. I follow, it's awesome. I mean, you're a machine, dude. You're an absolute machine. And I thank you too. I know Marat does. Marat appreciates you. But no, I appreciate you very much. I know Marat does. And I am going to say one more kudos real quick before I let you guys move on. Russ Cassidy. This guy is a friggin' genius when it comes to these Kickstarter campaigns. If anybody, indie publisher, and anybody wants to try to run their own campaign, don't do it. Go right to Russ. Let him line everything up. He'll walk you through every aspect of it, and we'll take care of all the back end, stuff. He's the one that helps us get all the orders, pulled up and on a spreadsheet for us to fulfill all these orders. He's a machine as well. He's an amazing IT guy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's that guy where it's like you have no idea how many campaigns he's been a part of. We're talking millions of dollars generated a different campaign he's been a part of.
Heck yes. I'm going to hit pause for a quick second because we have another person that's joining us, and I believe it's Shelby. If I get the name wrong, I apologize, but I'm 99% positive it's Shelby. But we've got American Discord.
Hey, Shelby!
Yeah!
99% Shelby, yes. Yeah. Am I super loud or is it okay? I know last time I came in it was like...
You're a little loud. I can manage you just a little bit. 1 second.
Okay.
Shelby, it's good to see you again, man.
Yeah, good to see you guys.
Yeah, we're good.
How's everyone doing?
Yeah, Steve, I think you
Doing
know
well,
Shelby
man.
Robertson, right?
Yes, I do.
Yep.
What's up, Steve?
How you doing, bud?
How you doing? Haven't seen Steve in person in quite a while.
It's been a while. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of quit doing shows. Went freelance and just plugging away, teaching. I was doing stuff at some teaching stuff and over at the college and
Nice.
art stuff and all that. Yeah.
Shelby, not to embarrass you or anything, but I'm gonna take you full screen because we already went through Steven's room, and I want to be nosy about the collection you have behind you.
Oh,
of
dude.
Figures. Oh, and books.
So that's actually that goes back too deep. The hardcovers.
Oh wow. Okay.
Wow.
And
jeez,
you can't see it, but yeah. So in here, I have. I used to have an addiction to blank sketch covers, and I got a couple friends and I who we do trades. We'll grab like 20 of this, 30 of that, and we just trade. We'll just ship stuff together. So I have like oh man, I got like 6,000 blanks that aren't drawn. These are all blanks right here too. These are all ones like in line to be drawn. And
oh wow.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. And my figure. I'm a big Origins fan, as you can see. So they got all my Motu stuff.
very nice.
Heck yeah.
And yeah,
Awesome.
that guy just, where is it? I'm backwards. That just came in. The snake pit thing.
Oh sweet. Yep.
Nice.
Oh, Snake
You
Mountain
can't
up
see
there.
here.
Love it.
It's yeah. And then I got a bunch of crap up here. I don't know if I can even turn this. I got a lot of artist editions and stuff, and then
heck
over in
yeah.
the closet I got all that stuff. And yeah, I'm a big collector of a lot of the 80s omnibus stuff and just stuff I like, man. I don't collect everything. I've already read it all. I've been getting a lot of these. I'm gonna stop my camera for a second. I've been getting a lot of these things from overseas because we're not really getting them here.
I only almost slightly screamed at your avatar, Shelby.
I was like,
Yeah, that's El Teehee. If you say it 3 times, he'll show up in the mirror. So, like this is one. I just did a video on this. So, Marvel is like, they're kind of not really doing the hardcover thing anymore unless it's like a big omnibus event. They're no longer doing the, I forgot, what do they call it? Marvel Premiere or something like some vendor.
Yeah, these little guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they still do it overseas. They still do it in France and Spain. So I got like the Punisher War Journal. I don't know if you guys knew this. The Jim Lee one came out, but it's in Spain and in Portugal. So if you don't care about being able to read the thing, you can get it. You just have to get it from like Amazon Spain or whatever. And then this guy is
wow.
Yeah, that Peter David Hulk Volume 1 is insane.
That is so hard to find. That's like I can't find it anywhere.
Yeah, is this one Panini? Yeah, so this is Panini France. It's like 35 US, even with the VAT tax. It was super cheap, and it's like the full thing. And actually it has like 4 or 5 more books. Not trying to hijack your stream here, by the way.
No, you're good.
And then,
I brought up your collection so bad. I was asking you to be nosy, so.
Yeah. And then my favorite era of Scott McDaniel, the Daredevil run, they have this in hard. You can get this in like a Marvel Epic collection here in the States. I've been like seeking out these hardcovers just because, Oh, and the Local Man Omnibus came out too.
Yeah.
Tony Fleece. They got a big gallery in the back, and I did some variants for Tony and Tim Seeley, so they got that stuff in the back. And
nice.
I don't have them in arm's reach, but I grabbed some of those on Amazon were like $30, and it's like a $90 book. I think I grabbed 3 or 4 from him at the Tucson Comic-Con a couple weekends ago.
Sweet.
Yeah.
You kind of referenced it, and I probably should have started with this instead of selfishly starting with let me see your collection behind you. But for people that don't know you, do you want to give us a background of who you are and what you do?
All right, so I'm a nerd. I'm old. I just found out I got to start taking thyroid medication.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's about it. No, it'll help. It'll help. We've been kind of trying to figure out what was going on. 30. I guess I'm a 30. I got hired in 1994 by Rob Liefeld to be a Finnish penciler for him. and I was also getting book credited Image on my own. Worked on Crypt. I did fill-in pages for the Black Flag comics, some of the other Maximum Press stuff. I did some Evangeline issues that I don't know if they came out or not. I know the ads came out in Diamond, and I know that we finished the books. I'm just not sure if they ever came out. Post Stensman, right after John Stensman went on to work on a book called Scarlet Crush, I think. And then I was taken over on Evangeline. Let's see. Unaccredited work. Bad Rock #1. That was my first pencil gig. I was working off layouts. I helped out Platt on the second volume of Profit a bit, just doing ghost pencils, which is basically you get paid a lot to be quiet until you're my age and you start telling everyone what you worked on. Yeah. So just stuff like that. And then I never really left comics. I went into gaming and was working at a company. We did a bunch of mobile stuff like Farmville and stuff like that.
Nice.
And then, I just never left comics. I think so. Like recently, in the last, I'm trying to think. By the way, I'm not an inker, even though I keep getting inking gigs. Dolan can tell you, I've inked probably 6 or 7 books that Dolan has scripted as inker, and I'm not an inker. What happened is, I'm a huge fan of the school of. Like Danny Mickey's my homie, like all the extreme dudes, like I still am pretty tight with most of them. And Danny Mickey's one of my heroes, as well as like, Rich Friend. I get to stream with him once every blue moon. And then, obviously Scott Williams and Joe Weems. Joe Weems was a weird one. He was geeking out over me. He's like, "Yeah, you were my first Image work." And I was like, "Really?" I thought that he was this, we had an inker named Jeanette Urbano. I thought that his pages were hers, because I was like, oh, I could tell it's Jeanette because these real fat outlines and the dollops were kind of weird. But apparently I was like Joe's first. He told me about that. I was like, well, that's cool, man. And I was like, well, and then you moved on to I don't know, Mark Silvestri, people like this.
Who's that guy? Never heard of him before.
Yeah. No, I've been around. Sorry guys, I'm word vomiting. I just got back from the store and I'm super hot. I live in Arizona. It's 109 right now. Oh. I'm dying. Yeah.
Yep. I'm Texas, so not always as hot, but humid here for sure.
Yeah, we're like super south. So anything like El Paso, it's about pretty similar climate.
Indeed.
So Josh, real quick, we are $55 away.
That's exactly where I was going. So $55 away from hitting 25,000. So close. So if you haven't backed the book, again, we have the link in the comments section. Go back the book. If you have backed the book and you've kind of been looking at a cover you didn't pick up, then maybe go back. You can modify your pledge and check it out. So I highly recommend doing that. And again, if you've backed, maybe share the stream, share the link, try to get it out there into some other people's hands who potentially haven't stumbled upon the campaign yet. So real quick, I kind of want to go through, because I do think a lot of times when we're discussing, I guess, storytelling or any type of medium, whether it's writing or doing art or whatever it might be, I think a lot of times our love for storytelling probably stems from films. And just me being a curious individual, I would love to hear maybe what some of you guys' favorite films of all time are. And I know that's a tough question to kind of throw out there, but Steven, if you don't mind, I think I might go with you first.
Well, my wife would tell you Inglourious Bastards.
We're gonna kill us some Nazis.
Is probably one of my favorite movies. I cannot be scrolling through the channels on the TV, and I don't care what part of that movie is on. It could be the very, very beginning of the 3.5 hour movie, or it could be the last 30 minutes. That TV's not changing channels until it's over.
I love it.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of that.
Awesome. Are you? Do you have any other favorites that you kind of do the same thing with? When you see it on, you just got to stop and watch, or is that pretty much the one?
Guardians of the Galaxy is another one.
Awesome. Yeah.
I'm guilty. I'm guilty of that one. I've probably seen it about 40 times.
It's a good film, man.
It is.
A good balance of genre, action, heart, comedy. Like, yeah.
And you know, just about any single Quentin Tarantino movie, I'm gonna stop and watch. Probably one of my favorite directors ever.
Nice.
Yeah.
Drew, would you say Tarantino's one of your favorites as well?
Yeah, and I would say for me, out of his catalog, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood for me is that film of his where I've watched that movie. I think it's eclipsed how many times I've watched Pulp Fiction because I love that world he created or recreated in Los Angeles, and it's just so. I just want to live in that world. How amazing everything is. Everything just feels so lived in, real, and I cannot wait for this sequel coming up with Ben Affleck. I'm not Ben Affleck. I'm sorry, Brad Pitt playing Cliff Booth again.
Yeah. I loved hearing the stories of Tarantino talk about why he wanted to make that movie, and that's always kind of fun stuff. Drew, what are some of your favorite films, man? Like, what do you think are films that helped kind of inspire you to want to tell stories?
I will say the most recent one that helped me inspire me to want to write stories was I'm a big fan of William Friedkin, and like I love The Exorcist, I love French Connection, but there was another film that he did that I had heard of, I'd never seen. It was called Sorcerer, and I always hear things about this. I'm like, what is this movie? And eventually one day during the COVID, I just sat down like, you know what, I'm going to put on Sorcerer one night. I watched it and I messaged whoever, I don't know who it was at the time. I said, this is my new favorite film. I love this movie. And I've rewatched that movie I don't know how many times now. If you have never seen Sorcerer, do yourself a favor. It is amazing. And when you realize it came out the same year as Star Wars, but hey, it was summer of Star Wars. Star Wars pretty much trounced everything at the theaters.
Fair. I just love that you said during the COVID. During the COVID.
Yeah.
I will say it's always interesting. So we've gotten into a trend of usually for like Dallas Fan Expo every year, we get an Airbnb and there's a group of us that'll meet up. And one of our friends, Max, has this unfortunate history of not being exposed or watching a lot of movies. So we usually go into those weeks/weekends being like, all right, we're watching this, we're watching this, we're watching this, and we're gonna sit his butt down and make him watch them. And then at the end of the weekend, we're like, okay, so tell us your thoughts. But this past year, we watched Demolition Man.
Big Trouble in Little China.
Yep, Big Trouble in Little China, and then
John Carpenter's Vampires.
Yep. We watched Waiting, and then there was one more. Oh gosh, why can't I think of it? I can't remember now. But it was a good fun weekend. So, Carrie.
Yes.
What are some of your favorite films?
You know, the first one I'm going to say. It's my favorite Marvel movie. It's Captain America: Winter Soldier. Even though I like the comic book more, but I love that movie. But I also have a soft spot for the first Captain America. Okay,
I was going to say, I thought you referred to Winter Soldier as Bucky featuring Captain America.
You know how big of a Bucky fan I am. But yeah, I love that movie. And but I actually really do like the first one. A lot of people, I don't know why, tell me all the time it wasn't that good. I liked it. I think it's because I also liked The Rocketeer, and it was done by the same director.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And The Rocketeer was like one of those movies I wish was a hit because I would love to see where they went with that.
Yeah. Indeed. Any other films that you're...
I mean, besides the typical like Star Wars and all, I really love the 80s dark fantasy stuff. Like Dragon Slayer, if you've ever seen that one, that might be one you want to get Max to watch. That's a good one. The Excalibur movie.
Great. That is one of my favorite films. I love Excalibur. Love it.
Yeah. I love that this is also turning into like a new list for Max to watch. Get ready, Max.
Dragon Slayer, Excalibur, what was it, Kroll?
Yeah.
With, Liam Neeson was in that. That was one
also
too.
Also in Excalibur. Yeah.
Yeah. And Excalibur, yeah, he was in there. I think, what was it, Helen Mirren was in Excalibur too,
Patrick
right?
Stewart, yeah. And Gabriel Byrne.
Yeah, it was a great movie. It's definitely.
Heck yeah. I will say I mentioned earlier I was born in 1988, and I was, I think, the ripe old age of like 4 or 5 when the first Jurassic Park came out. And that was the first movie I remember watching multiple times in the theater. And I remember I had to fight my parents to go see it because they didn't want me to go see it because they thought it was going to be way too scary for me. And I remember sitting down in the theater before the film started, and my mom was like, okay, listen, there might be some scary stuff. There might be some dinosaurs that eat people. So are you going to be okay? And I'm like, yeah, Mom, dinosaurs eat people. But, you know, growing up, I never grew tired of that first Jurassic Park. And when people say, what's your favorite movie? I will typically say Jurassic Park to this day. I think that first film is just fantastic in so many ways, and my appreciation for it has changed over time. Huge fan of The Dark Knight. I think it's one of the slickest superhero films ever made. Great character work. It's intense. I remember going to the theater, and when that score for Joker would come on, just being like, oh God, something terrible is about to happen. But I tend to like really intense stuff. So Children of Men, another good film of mine, or favorite film of mine. And then I'm a comfort food kind of guy, so this is cheating, but Firefly, Serenity. For me, that's just like hanging out with your friends. Put it on. I feel like I'm hanging out with my friends. It's characters I know and love, and we'll go from there. But Shelby, good sir, I feel like you're going to be a horror fan. Am I on point?
You're making me feel so old right now, man. Like, you're like, yeah, I was 5. I'm like, I was like making out with a date at that movie's premiere, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I'm over here thinking, okay, great. Yeah, he was 4 years old.
That was like a
Jurassic Park came out. Yeah, screw you.
That was Riverside Drive-In movie, dude. That's
Awesome.
crazy. Yeah, no, I'm a I don't even know. I'm like a product of the 80s and 90s. So like when I was younger, way back in the 1900s, guys. Yeah, I was a John Hughes. Yeah, pretty much John Hughes. So like when I like my first like crush was Molly Ringwald, right? So like 16 Candles and Pretty in Pink and all that stuff. And then I mean, I'll still watch the hell out of it. Weird Science, Back to the Future, all that stuff, man. I love those movies. But then I like a lot of, I guess like B-movie horror. Like I'll watch Killer Clowns from Outer Space on repeat if I have to. There's other, I don't really know. Like recent B-movies, I guess, would be like The Greasy Strangler. I don't know if any of you have seen this movie.
I've not heard of it.
Crickets. I just heard a pin drop. Yeah, so The Greasy Strangler, highly recommend it. It's weird. It's like Napoleon Dynamite weird. Like it's slow burn weird. I'm gonna recommend you see it, and then you can be like, Shelby, I will never get back the 2 hours of my life. You recommended this terrible, or you're gonna be like, dude, I don't know why I like it, but I do, and I don't know. It's just a weird film. And then I like a lot of stuff that Lucky McKee, he's a director. He did another weird movie. He did like this movie called May, and there's another one coming out. Bruce Campbell's in it, plays the dad. It's called The Woods, and it's about this all-girls school, and it ends up being it's run by witches and stuff, and it's like low budget, but it isn't. It's called The Woods, and I think you guys might actually like that. It's got a lot of people in it. It's got the same vibe as like the Suspiria remake that's like kind of current. It has that same like just ambient, hollow vibe. I kind of like stuff like that. Like sci-fi stuff. I kind of bounce around. Sci-fi stuff probably be like more in the realm of like Dark City, and then obviously, you know, I'm a big Kubrick guy, so like 2001. I can watch that all day. My favorite Kubrick movie, though, is The Shining. I don't even care that he hijacked the book. I prefer what he did to the book, and I have a whole fan theory about that movie. And I don't think anyone. I haven't really heard many people, at least, even
theory
like
about
suggest.
The Shining. Someone with a theory about the movie The Shining. That's wild.
Right. Yes. Yeah. No. But it's not anything that I've like seen online. So my whole idea behind the movie is that it's two movies. They have all the Easter eggs in it where like there's the scene of him looking out the window and the giant bull sculpture is gone. Like it's just missing in the room. I think he was doing stuff like that with think of like a totem. Anytime the totem is missing, it's what Wendy is thinking in her head is reality. So that's what she's envisioning. So like the whole thing at the end, they deleted the scene that would have blown the movie open. The deleted scene is where they say that they found no evidence of anything occurring, she said, and his body is also missing. So I think she's a psychopath. I think it's her. I think she's the villain. And I think the kid, I think they actually have psychological issues. And I think the kid with his whole thing, I don't think it's ghosts. I think that I think it's just mass paranoia. I think it's like a reflection of her and the kid. And if you look in the beginning of the movie, all of her books, it's like, see all my omnibuses? It's all horror novels, and they're all stacked, all janky. Yeah, anyways, that's my theory. I think she's a lunatic. I don't think it's him. I think he like is doing like trying to keep the family together and stuff. I don't think it was ever Jack. I think it was her. Yeah.
Interesting.
I think all the clues are there. And I think that's why he's always said like no one really understands the movie. And I'm like, oh, I think I get it. I've seen that movie like 300 times, man. So I've dissected it. Yeah.
I feel like I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch it now with that in mind.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, and then of course, Donnie Darko. I like all that stuff. Freddy Krueger is my boy. I got 3 Freddy Krueger statues up here.
So Shelby, I was telling Josh, Alamo Drafthouse, they're showing all the original Nightmare on Elm Streets in 4K, and I just saw part 4 last night. I'm seeing part 5 tonight.
Okay, nice. Yeah, that box set just dropped. Oh. Man, those things are hard to get.
Update, Josh. Sorry. Update.
Yep. Yeah, I was about to pull it up. I just didn't want to interrupt you guys, but give me a second to get my computer to cooperate. Yes, so we are $32. Oh! Touchdown.
Yeah.
Right, we passed it. We're at the 25K. Awesome sauce.
Perfect timing. I got a bulb, guys. I've got somewhere I've got to be with my wife. So I gotta sign out here pretty soon.
Awesome. Well, Steven, man,
perfect timing.
Yeah, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it, and keep us in the loop with your brick and mortar and how it goes, because I'm wishing you all the best, brother.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to it. We're excited about it. I've got a surprise or two for the kids for that day here. My kids, rather. Some things that I've got in the works that they don't know about. We've got Marat Mychaels, Bill Morrison, Sean Forney, and Matthew Waite are going to be my guest artists. Set up my grand opening, signing, drawing. People can send in items to get signed. And we've got some really fun plans for it. So thank you very much for the positivity. I appreciate it. Last thing I'm going to say, Drew, thanks again, brother, for all your hard work on this. Very exciting to be a part of it. Again, I couldn't be partnered with anybody better than Mr. Marat Mychaels on something like this. He's my best bud. So everybody else have a fantastic weekend. And anybody that was watching today, thanks for joining us. And good luck in everything that you do. Oh, one last thing. I always want to try to stress to people, I do it every time that I'm involved with a Kickstarter or I buy into a Kickstarter. Scroll all the way down, all the way down to the bottom, guys, and hit those other things that you might like or whatever. I forget what they call it. There's a name for it. I can't remember it. I don't have my screen up right now. It's other titles, other guys that are trying to launch and get their Kickstarters going. It takes $10, $20 to support these people that are that are really trying. Of course, you see one that's got 1,932,000% covered. I always try to scroll around and just look for one or two brand new people that are struggling. They're like $500 away, $20 away, whatever. But always check out those other small guys and try to show some love.
Indeed. I like that completely.
Everybody have a fantastic weekend.
Steven, thank you. And then I'll try to figure out, what degree of separation we are in cousinship,
Sounds good, Rick.
All right. Thanks, Steven. Bye-bye.
Peace out, guys.
Bye.
Yeah, super. Look, I'm going to I'm gonna make this about me for a second.
Wait, that's not your dad?
No. Thank
I
you
thought he was your
guys.
dad this whole time.
It could be. It's crazier things have happened. I was gonna say, guys, thank you for hitting 25,000. I'm not involved with this book in any way, but I have been championing for 25K because I want a bookmark. So that's my selfish thank you. Sorry, I'm an idiot, and you guys just have to deal with it because you're on my channel. But no, Drew, congratulations again. We do have roughly, I think, 20 minutes of the campaign left. So
54.
still. Oh, 54?
Yeah.
What time does it end?
Off.
7:30.
Oh,
so,
it says it right there. For some reason, I thought it ended at 6 p.m. or my time, 7 p.m. East Coast time. Well, I'm wrong. So there we go. 54 minutes left. We hit 25, which is awesome. I do want to kind of circle back just to talk about the book. So if you're coming in late to the stream and you weren't at the beginning, I'm going to have Drew kind of reshare what Notti Nyce is about, the fact that it is established characters, but they're doing something a little different. So Drew, if you want to just recap again, what's the story here and what are you guys going for?
So yeah, Notti Nyce was created by Marat Mychaels and Terry Sala a while ago, and it was very much a very tongue-in-cheek series. And the stories were very much one and dones. And, you're pretty much buying them, a lot of them, for the covers, mostly because they're very sexy covers. And there really wasn't much fleshed out between the characters. So what we're doing here with this series, the new ongoing Notti Nyce, is that we're really fleshing out the characters. We're giving them all their unique personalities, their own quirks, their pet peeves, things they like, things they don't like. Just one's older, one's younger. We really wanted to make them characters. And hopefully by the end of the run, you will have your favorite one that you liked more than the other one. Or maybe you like both. I don't know. But what we're doing here is that with the 3 arcs, the first one focuses on both. The middle one focuses on Notti, and the third one focuses on Nyce, mostly just really getting into their backgrounds. And that's what we want to champion here, just really make them characters and really make you care for these characters that you want to keep coming back. And I may or may not have shared some interior art of this with Carrie, and I think Carrie may or may not have liked what we got coming up.
I did.
Yep.
I liked it a lot.
Here we go. Yep. So I'm very proud of it, and I believe it's going to attract a whole new audience. And I hope at some point we can get Shelby working on something with Notti Nyce. Hope we can get him to do a cover or something. Be great.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, give me that cover. I just finished up. I got a cover coming out for Transformers 25, the first Robert Kirkman book coming out. So, yeah, that got approved. So I'm happy about that. The last one I did for them was for issue 21, I think.
Gotcha. I was gonna say that that's just a little book, just a little Transformers.
It's barely on the map.
Yeah. Never heard of it. I might have to check that.
It's like there's Mighty Max, there's Bionicle, but yeah, Transformers is down there somewhere.
It's right under Zoids.
Yeah.
GoBots, and then
I do want to take a second. We do have the man, the myth, the legend himself, H.H. German, coming in from Sigma Comics with $5 saying, support Drew and team. These are hard-working, talented guys. Support Josh. Thank you. True love and passion for comics. It doesn't get any better than this, folks. I will say hard work, yes. I didn't realize the amount of work that went into comics until I started covering comics and really talking to creators. And then even with Drew here, I have a background of writing for film and television, and then kind of stepping in to give notes on comics or helping rewrite comics. And this goes prior to even Drew. But learning, even strictly from a writing standpoint, you have to change your writing style. And there's so much technical aspects that go in to writing a well-crafted book. You've got to consider the page turn. You've got to make sure, like if you're going to have a layout, there's like a math and a puzzle. It's not just let me tell a good story with good pacing. You've got to kind of work it into this puzzle. Right. And that sometimes means you got to buffer some things or kind of cut some things to make it work the way you need it to. So a lot of work. And then from the artist standpoint, And Drew, I'll let you talk about this. Communicating your vision, especially if it's your book, getting an artist that one is talented but in sync with you and understanding. And sometimes there's a language barrier there, so you have to, work your way around that. So I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about that aspect as well with these books.
Oh, 100%. Going as far back as Born of Blood, when I was working with Carlos Beccaria at Stone Tower Studio, he really couldn't speak English, and I wasn't communicating with him. I had to communicate through his interpreter to go to him, but and we didn't really have that much of a relationship, unfortunately, because of that. But eventually, I got another artist who is now my brother from another mother, Aurelio Mazzara, my co-creator of Unholy Nightmare, and we just hit it off on issue 5, and we just started talking back and forth and really seeing things that we liked, things that we didn't like, what we wanted to see in the book. And I believe issue 5 and 6 is our finest hour in that series. And we loved horror, and we really brought that out in issue 6. And going from there, working on books with Marat, like Reign of Vengeance coming out soon, or Pray for the Sinner, working with Andrei Lunatic, who is Russian. There was a little bit of a language barrier there. So it was a little rough at first, but before we knew it, we became like almost the best of friends. And he just posted the other day just how much he loved my scripts, my script for Reign of Vengeance. And I'm like, that's fucking awesome. I love it. And it just to be able to say I'm working with guys like Shelby Robertson or Andrew Lunatic, Marat Mychaels, I'm a kid living his dream right now. This is amazing.
Heck yeah. Real quick before we continue, HH1, you're talking about us and supporting, but thank you for your support, man. You're here consistently on Tuesday nights or Thursday nights with me, Saturdays with Wes. Like, you're always there. You're always supporting us, and you kill it at conventions. So
hardest working man at a convention. Hardest working guy at a convention.
I'm telling you, dude, like that guy.
He hustles.
It's incredible to watch him work. But for the $5, we're gonna play this clip. Good old classes. We do have some comments real quick as well. So one, John says, congratulations, Dolan. Kudos on hitting that 25K, indeed. And we've got Bo versus the world hopping in here with a hey guys, what's up, Bo? How are you, sir? Nice to see you here. Yeah, I think this is exciting. 25K, definitely. I mean, Drew, we've been talking about 25K for about 2 weeks now, I think.
Yeah, it's been inching closer and closer.
So closer.
Yeah, and it's just like, I want that damn bookmark. And we're getting the bookmarks. I love it. Finally.
Yeah,
Nice.
we keep joking about how we're ADD with our reading. So we've got like 4 different things that we're reading at a time for different reasons. It's like, I've got the comics that I'm reading because I'm going to be covering them. I've got the book that I'm reading because I'm doing research for a writing project. I've got the book that I'm reading for a different video that I'm trying to plan for the channel. And then I've got like I just want to shut my brain off and read books. So, hey, we like bookmarks. Also, real quick, just to keep things on Notti Nyce, we did mention that, yes, this book is done, correct, Drew?
Yep, this book is done. And yeah, I think they're look. You got to play it safe with fulfillment, printing, and everything. Hey, shit happens. That's pretty much. Yeah. I mean, that's almost the statement of life. Shit happens, but so I think they have this plan for like just in case, like November, December time frame, because you never know. But yeah, the book is done. It will be going out. So I'm very happy about that. And when we get to issue 1, the new series, that issue, the art is completely done. It just needs to be lettered and edited by Arron Sparrow. Then that's going to be ready too.
Nice. And then I'll also add, we currently have 86 people watching. 69 of you are over on Twitter or X. I call it Twitter because I guess I'm not old, but I feel like I'm old. It's never going to not be Twitter. It's on the Twitter sphere. The twats. So if you guys want to come over to the YouTube side, we would love it. Come hit that like button, share, subscribe, anything like that. We'll greatly appreciate it. Since we do have roughly another 45 minutes to kill before we reach the end of this, I kind of want to keep going around with some just random nerd conversations, man. Like the type of stuff that you'd have in comic shops. And we've talked about the books that kind of got us into comics. We've talked about, films that we love. I'm going to do something that might be sacrilegious for some people, but I have a reason for it. What is a comic book that you would love to see brought to film? With the exception of you could know and have certainty that it would be done well. But the reason I ask this is there are so many times where we have a film come out and it has led people to comics. So with that in mind, what comic book, and you can do more than one if you want, would you love to see on the screen to hopefully get people to come check it out? And maybe it's a television series instead of a film, but I'd be just curious to know if you have anything like that you would like to see. Drew, since it's your campaign, I'm starting with you. I'm making you go first, and we can come back to you at the end if you have some other thoughts. But any books that you would love to see kind of get the big screen treatment and maybe get in the hands of general audiences?
There's a few. I would love to see King of Spies by Mark Miller brought to life.
Yes.
Pierce Brosnan as that spy, the old man Bond. Yes, let's do that. That's going to be a banger. Nemesis. Why Nemesis has not been brought to the screen yet is a crime.
Agreed.
That would be an amazing R-rated comic book supervillain film. Another would be, I want to see Miracle Man done. I want to see Miracle Man done right in the film. I think that blow a lot of minds. I think that's where I'm at right now. Those are the ones that come to mind right now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. The other one, Grendel by Matt Wagner, Hunter Rose. I want to see the Hunter Rose story brought to life.
Heck yeah. You mentioned Nemesis, and I'm 100% right there with you. I would have said Nemesis for sure, and all I keep thinking about is seeing the land here. Oh man, I love
one more to add is Nexus by Steve Root and Mike Barron. I'd love to see that
for sure.
Why that has not been an animated series now, I will never understand.
I can't even begin to guess or explain or understand why, but maybe there are reasons.
So which version of Nemesis would it be that you'd like to see?
Oh, there you go.
Adapted. I'm a fan of the original. I know he switched it up. I like the first run, even though it's gross. I still love it.
It gets gross. Oh yeah, it gets gross. But honestly, I think the second volume, I think it'd be fun to start with the first one, or maybe didn't start do the second or flip flop them. But you really got to incorporate that first volume just because how twisted that guy is and how far he will go. But the second volume, I love the second volume. It was amazing.
Nice. Carrie, any comics or manga that you would love to see kind of get the film or television treatment?
I think pretty much most of the manga is already being adapted into animes. There is one comic I would love to see adapted, but I don't trust Disney or the MCU right now, would have been the original Midnight Suns. Like a really dark version, just like the comic. I would love to have seen that, but I don't trust them.
Yeah, no, agreed. And that's kind of why I led with that. If you knew they would do it well, and look, this is that thing too, where it's two different mediums, and sometimes things just don't work as well. Comic book versus film, television, whatever. But if you could get everything to kind of fall in place correctly. I'm with you.
I see my friend in the chat is saying he's afraid to ask for another Spawn, but I think they already are doing that, aren't they?
Well, okay, so yeah, Bo said I'm almost afraid to ask for another Spawn. Are they still doing the Jamie Foxx? I thought that got canned.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
A friend of mine runs Todd Toys. I ask her stuff all the time. She's like, It may not. I mean, that thing's been through so many iterations at this point that they switch stuff up to get interest, and they go back to the original because the interest is dropped, and who knows?
I mean,
who knows?
And that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be a no forever. You know, I mean, looking at the 2000 X-Men, I think they originally started trying to get that film pulled together in the late 80s, and it went through so many.
Oh, Josh Talrak.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Catherine Bigelow was going to be attached at one point to do the X-Men with James Cameron.
I remember that.
Bob Hoskins, Wolverine.
Yeah, Shelby, I think you missed the disclaimer earlier that for whatever reason, when my internet drops, it'll cut my mic off. And I don't know until like 5 to 10 seconds after it's happened. So Drew will just say Talrak. And typically someone in the chat will be like, damn it, Josh. So thankfully we've been streaming for almost 2 hours and it's only happened once. So I will take that as a win.
Yeah,
if I had to pick
to
another one, if I could pick another one, this one I would think would make a great TV series if done right would be Once and Future.
Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that. Yeah, you know what? And heck yeah, get Dan Moore's name out there. Let's get more people on the Dan Moore train. I'm all for it. And then John did say Nemesis would be epic, and I agree.
Yeah.
Anything else that would strike your fancy, Carrie, or is that pretty much?
Like I said, everything I think of manga, every time I say, that would make a great anime, suddenly it gets announced. So I can't even say manga.
Fair. Shelby, is there any books that you would love to see kind of get transferred to the screen?
Well, besides any of my own IPs, I would absolutely have to say Madman. Why the hell is there not a Madman movie out already?
Yeah.
Mike Howard's Madman. There's so much strong source material, that they could pull for that. It would obviously come off as almost like a 1950s pulp type. It has that aesthetic. So it'd feel like 50s sci-fi, like the early Shazam serials and stuff. I think it'd have to feel like that. But yeah, like that property, I don't think it would ever work as like an animated series or anything. It would have to be like the Guillermo Hellboy type approach, like, because it has funny stuff, but also has like the gross aliens with like popping swords and stuff. It has that kind of stuff in it too. So yeah, probably something like that. And then we probably got another 50 years of remakes. Let's get a remake of one of the movies I mentioned, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. For sure. Yeah, and I've always said, I don't care what you think of these directors, you hand them something with a book that shows this is what it needs to be, they're great. Scott Snyder, Rob Zombie. I hate when they go off and do their own thing. I can't stand their own idea. But if they have to operate based on material, they make magic, man. And it's like, I'd really like to see a remake, like either a Snyder or, like I said, a Rob Zombie. It would be gritty, just an updated version, kind of like what we got when we got the Texas Chainsaw and Texas Chainsaw Beginning.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It didn't really abandon the source film. It just kind of like leveled it up a bit, right? And I think sometimes we look at like older stuff, what they call it, rose-colored glasses. We kind of look at it like, oh, but it's so great. It's like, nah, some of that stuff ain't so great. Go watch Teen Wolf again. It wasn't all that great. I like the movie, but I'm just saying, like, some stuff could definitely, a fresh coat of paint isn't always a bad thing. It's only bad if they like completely flip, they start flipping characters and, oh, this one's the hero now. It's like, get out of here with that. Like,
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, probably Madman as far as like comics though. Yeah. Madman.
And then
can't really think of any mainstream stuff, honestly. I mean, Savage Dragon, maybe, but it would have to be like the mini series Savage Dragon, not the newer. It'd have to be Chicago Cop. Something like that.
Yeah. Shelby, I was gonna say you can plug some of your own stuff too, man. Like if you've got something that's your IP that you think needs to get
I got
there.
plenty of time for that. No, I'm not gonna.
Okay. He's like, how many minutes are left
Dolan's
in the
plugging
campaign?
me.
Well, I'm just
Dolan's
saying, fair
plugging.
game. You're free to.
Here, I'll plug this. Look, you guys like Spidey 300 homages? Look, I did a gross one. It's a Chihuahua.
Oh, wow.
This for this company, Pork Chop Express. So
I love it.
Yeah.
They don't want anyone to know this. There's an actual indie movie they made called Night of the Chihuahuas, and they don't never tell anybody about it because it's really bad. But the comic book sequel, Chihuahuas from Hell. Yeah, I did the Spidey 300 pose. It's pretty gross. I colored it too. And then I guess they got the rights to. Remember that movie Tremors?
Yeah.
They got they got like 4 or 5 comics out for it already. I was like, they were next to me at a local signing, and I was just talking. He brought me a bunch of my comps and some sketch covers of this book, and I was like, is this you guys too? And he's like, yeah, we're doing the Tremors comics. And I was like, it's really bizarre. The only character they can draw like the actor is the main guy, the redneck guy with the guns. He's the only one. Everybody else has to be drawn like fictional. They can't have like Kevin Bacon likeness. Yeah. He was like, yeah, he's only one for whatever reason. I was like, oh, I wonder if he's like a producer because he's in every terrible sequel they made after 2, right? I think it's up to like 5. Yeah.
Nice. I think if I would love to see anything kind of adapted, if you could, in a way, I would love to see somehow, some way, Spectre come to life. I just think that would be crazy if you could get something like horror elements. And I don't know. I don't know how you would do it. I just know it'd be giddy as a goose.
No, Josh. The DC they did it well with those like the little DC mini movies they would do like before the big DC feature films. They're like little shorts. Treat him like he's Freddy Krueger or like something from like Nightmare on Elm Street, where he's given them like the poetic justice by the end of the story. That's something that they've done. That's what you got to do.
I'm gonna go modern here for a second, but I think most of the Ghost Machine stuff is like primed and ready to get to the screen somehow. I think Rook, you could take his films, put it on there. But Redcoat as a series, like do an HBO type, high budget, each kind of like that's first 7 issues. Let it be a season.
Yeah, Geiger is one of my favorite books of all time. But, and I've said this on my own channel a bunch of times, I honestly feel like the Hyde Street like run of books, those are the best comics I've read in like 20 years. They're literally the best. I'm like, I don't know what it is about these books, but they just hit. Every single one hits. And has nothing to do with my homeboy Danny Mickey on inks. Has literally nothing to do with Danny on it.
I was talking to some friends about Ghost Machine in particular, and I don't think I've read anything from Ghost Machine that I absolutely hate. But I was also talking about how I've got such a...
Yeah,
Josh,
we lost him again.
But yeah, I love the Ghost Machine stuff too, like Redcoat, Tiger. I will say, I argue with everyone when I say Hyde Street is one of the most beautifully illustrated books on the market right now between Ivan Reese and Danny Mickey. And I think it's Brad Anderson on colors too, I think.
I believe so.
Yeah, it is beautiful.
Yeah, they've had they got some fill-in stuff, but they had a pretty good jump start. Danny had some stuff with them at one of the shows, and I was like, I was gooning all over some of these pages. I'm like, dude, this is so good. It's so good. It makes me kind of sad because then I go back to my table and I look at like my portfolio and I'm like, tear. Oh, I should have spent more time on this. It's okay. It's for Dolan. It'll work.
Hey.
On the superhero front, I would love to see, honestly, Craven the Last Hunt, if you could find a way to make that just a really intense, raw, like almost Logan-esque raw type movie, I think that would be great. And then I'd love to see Green Lantern be done well. That's all I'm gonna say. Just I don't know. I don't have much faith in what's coming up, but be done well.
One more I got, Josh. Stray Dogs. I would love to see.
Hell yeah! I didn't even think about that. Yeah, so much good stuff you can get out in people's, like, just create an awareness, and especially in that indie field, like, let people know, hey, you should go check out this book. And then John put, I wouldn't mind some Sean Murphy adapted as well. I think you could definitely have some. His stuff kind of feels like it's meant from, like, got a cinematic flair to it. So, Carrie, I know you've got to bounce soon, so I want you to go ahead and just promote whatever you got going on, and then let us know what's up with you.
I recently did a poll on my Twitter to see what game everybody wanted me to play for my first live stream tonight. So I will be playing Stellar Blade on my PS5 on Kick. I'm going to try and stream it on X and YouTube too, but this is the first time doing it, so wish me luck that goes well. And I am starting to work again on some manga reviews, so they'll be coming soon as well.
Awesome. And then if you want to shoot me your YouTube handle in the private chat, I'll get it populated. I'll put it over in the main chat for us.
No problem. I will do that for you.
But I will say thank you for coming. It was nice to see you again. It's been way too long.
It is really nice to see all of you again.
I'm glad you're kind of getting back into things, but I fully understand. I know there was a lot of life stuff going on too, but
yeah. But
there are certain things you have to prioritize in life, and I know family's one of them, and I'm feeling that on my end now. So yeah.
Yes. And I want to wish Drew luck. You're great at what you do, and I'm looking forward to the comic.
Thank you. It means a lot, Carrie. Yeah, when the next issue's done, and it's done in lettered and everything, I want you to check it out. And
I will definitely be reviewing it, since I wasn't able to review the last one because of computer issues, but I will definitely be reviewing it.
Awesome.
All right. I will see you guys later.
Bye, Carrie. Thank you.
Bye.
All righty. We've got, how much time do we have left? 27 minutes left in the campaign. We're still sitting nicely at that little bit above. Oh, we've bumped up to 25,094 now. So we're getting close to 25,1. Heck yes. Nice. We like that little cushion there.
Yeah, that's crazy. Hey, I got to go wash my hair, guys. All right, so I'll see you.
Okay. Have fun washing your hair.
Kidding. Oh, you're just kidding? Oh, okay.
Check this out. No, I'm playing. Nah, dude, I don't wash my hair. Look at me. Hey, look. I got an Eric Powell. Yeah, so Hero Initiative does these little coaster arts at a lot of these drink and draw events at different conventions. I personally drew them up every time I see Jeff. How do you pronounce his last name? Kupenschlack.
Gesundheit.
Excuse me. Yeah, I got an Eric Powell. I got myself a little Eric Powell. He was sitting there drawing. Everyone was asking him for Goon, and I was like, I'm gonna be different, man. I'm like, hey, how do you feel about drawing Batman? He's like, yeah, I can do that. And I go, am I like the first Batman? He goes, I actually get asked for him all the time. I was like, oh, damn it! I thought I had something original.
That is being different, man. I will say, I mentioned this earlier, Shelby, before you got here, but my I guess scope of collection, like comics, have been pretty consistent for a while, but then it kind of moved into me getting collectibles, and then that's moved into original art, and that's my big kick now. And at first, I was like, I've got the artists I like, and I know what I want, and would kind of go in. And over time, I've gotten to the point where I've started asking people, like, hey, what do you like to draw? And because sometimes maybe what they do for comics or whatever isn't what they are really passionate about. And if I can get an idea of what they're passionate about, it'll then segue into something that's awesome. But I've been doing that a lot. And yeah, I don't know. Do you have any artists or art that you've gotten that you're like, this is bomb, or maybe art that you want to get?
Well, these are I'll show you two pieces that are not used. They're not advertised for my own books. I'm going to use them at some point on a crowdfund. I did an art trade with Liefeld when I was inking the first Bad Blood series, we started that in 2014. And I think we wrapped it up around 16 because we were kind of coming back and forth doing the Young Blood volume, whatever it is, volume 18 or 7 or whatever volume it is. And we were doing backup stories in there. And then I was like, hey, I noticed you're doing this, like, the Bloodstrike relaunch, whatever. And he's like, yeah. I was like, could I do, like, a cover? And he's like, what do you want for it? And I was like, how about we just do a trade? Like, don't even pay me. Just give me pencils for stuff. So he ended up giving me 2. And then what I gave him was he still has not used it, and he claims he's going to use it. He's like, yeah, I'm using it. I'm like, all right, I can update it. You know what I mean? Because it's old at this point. It's like a 2016 drawing. But so this is one cover he did. I inked it, by the way. It's my inks. But yeah, I got one piece here.
Oh, hell yeah.
Wow.
My character. And then this is the better one, I think. So I got this one as well. So
sweet.
Yeah, so I got those 2. Yeah, those are the 2 I got from Rob for, like, originals. All my Deadpool stuff and all that's all gone. I mean, I got people knocking on my door as soon as, that stuff was being worked on.
Nice.
But I got some, I'm trying to think here. I got some Brandon Peterson. Everything's, like, in the closet. I got some Brandon Peterson originals. I got some, I'm a big fan of the Crow movie, right? But also the OG novel. So I got a really nice sketch from James O'Barr from 2 years ago. He came out here.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, he came out here to Tucson. I felt weird about it because he has very, art. So when you're an artist, we're like loners, right? Like I spend over 10 hours a day in here, right? So I think that a lot of times you're introverted. You're not really getting a lot of high praise a lot of the time. So I felt kind of weird buying from him because he's like pricing himself down, like, to get this. And I was like, no, what are you doing? Like, don't do that. Like, what do you, it's almost like, I just want to get it out the door, while I have the opportunity to. It's a weird mindset. Cause I'm like, Jim Lee's doing $15,000 head sketches, dude. And you've actually created a single character that in a lot of ways is more important than anything from, don't clip me on this. He's created a character that's a lot more important than, like, a lot of the Wildstorm universe combined. Right. So I'm just saying the Crow, it's a huge, just the name carries, right? In like a household, the scheme of things, right? So yeah, it's just really weird, to come across artists that have almost like self-esteem, and I think some of that is kind of rooted from our isolation, so it's a thing for sure. Not every artist is a social butterfly. I think a lot of creators tend to isolate themselves or grow up isolated. So, like, that's where the weirdness comes from because they're not used to people and all that. With those original, he was almost giving it to me for a steal, and I was like, nah, dude, I just threw him like a couple of bills. I'm like, you're taking that for it, man, because I don't care that you're selling this for $90 in Chicago. Like, this is a $300 piece of art, dude. Like, you're not, I'm not going to do that to you. But I tend to see that quite a bit. There's certain artists that'll do that. Then you got other ones that are like career artist alley, and they're like $400 torso shots, and I'm like, I'm over here selling original Liefelds for $350, man. I don't, I don't know, man. I look at things different.
Yeah.
Also, another thing too, when I first broke in, it's like 94. I remember with my roommates, I think I was walking around with like Pat Lee was an old roommate of mine. He's the old Dreamwave dude. And before he moved back, he's out in Hong Kong right now. But we're walking around WonderCon up in Oakland, and you can stop me if I told you this story before, but I remember going up to a booth, and it might have actually been Anthony's original art, whatever. All these Joe Mad pages from Uncanny X-Men.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
pretty sure it was Uncanny X-Men. And then there was the Savage Land Rogue cover from Jim Lee. $4,000, $4,000. He had $250 pages by Joe Mad and then $400 pages by Jim Lee and Scott Williams, like full, like whole books almost. And I was like, man, I don't know. And so in my brain, when I think of like original art, like I can't fathom these, like I got a buddy up in Vegas. He just dropped $35K on a McFarlane page because it has half of a face of Spidey on it. And I'm like,
wow.
That was a $300 page. And like, but in my head, it doesn't feel that. I know it was a long time ago. You guys weren't even born yet, but like, to me, it's like, I saw this stuff and it was just in abundance. So everybody was just selling it for nothing.
You know,
Scott Williams has stories about that, selling $400 covers of X-Men so he could pay his hotel.
Yeah.
You know?
My comic shop owner is talking about, like, there were times that he saw original art, now that would go for thousands and thousands of dollars. And at the time it was like $100 to $300. He's like, oh, I'm not paying that. That's too much. And he's like, man, I'm kicking myself now. But my old roommate had, I'm not gonna dox him. My old roommate had a stack this big of Art Adams from 88 and 89, New Mutants all the way up to X-Men Annuals. And then he had a short stack. He had a short stack of Frank Miller. He had Daredevil, Dark Knight Returns, like originals, sitting in the closet, unframed, just sitting. And then he ended up in dire straits, and he ended up just unloading them because he had stuff to pay. But even when he got rid of them at the time, the Frank Miller's $3,500 Dark Knight pages, which now are like 50, 60. He's seen them on Heritage, and he's like, dude, this is insane. Yeah. Because he knows what he let him go for, and it's like... Yeah, the market for it has changed so much in the demand. Real quick, we do have another guest hanging out backstage. So we've got Tommy from World at War Comics. What's up, brother?
How's it going?
It's going. Nice to see you. I got to meet Tommy in Dallas, and unfortunately, I was sick and felt like shit. So I was like barely around. Yeah,
it was still
like,
fun. I had a blast meeting you. Yeah.
How are you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. I was trying to get on earlier, but
hey,
I'm married.
I'm about to say, married happens.
That's all I'm going to say is I'm married.
Fair. Well, I can't say that because I'm not married. But
you get it.
But
though.
I understand. Real quick, I'll let you go ahead and introduce yourself for people that aren't familiar with you. Let us know who you are and what you do, and promote your channel a little bit.
I appreciate that, Josh. Yeah, Tommy, World at War Comics. I also have a YouTube channel where I mainly just interview comic book creators. And then obviously a big fan of all of you. Mr. Drew right there, man. I think just about everything he's written over the last few years. So really just here to support Notti Nyce. I don't know if you hit 25K yet. The last time I looked, you were really close. Nice.
We did.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. So it's a pleasure being with all of you, man. I didn't want to jump in, man. That whole story of all the original art, man, blows my mind. That's crazy.
Heck yeah.
That's nuts. Art Adams.
We were just kind of starting that too, like going around saying like, hey, what's some either original art that you have or maybe would want. So I will throw it to you. I don't know if you've got any original art or if there's like a dream piece that you're wanting to get.
I mean, I'm a big McFarlane fan. I actually have a shirt on today. So anything that he did in Spider-Man would be pretty dope to have. And obviously any of the old amazing George Perez. I mean, that would be insane to have something from the late 70s, early 80s when I really started getting into comic books. I think I'm a little old, but anything in that era would be amazing, man. Incredible. I think the one thing I have, which I really enjoy, which is not older, but I think it was 3 San Diego Comic-Cons ago, McFarlane's booth. He had like images in cloth built as the background of his booth, and I purchased the hunt, which was pretty cool. So I have that signed by McFarlane, and I'm just waiting for an opportunity to get in front of Robert Kirkman, so that way I could get it signed by him as well, since he was a co-creator as well. But it's huge, man. It's got to be 10 feet by 4 feet or 8 feet by 4 feet, something like that. It's gigantic. So literally, if you saw back in that time after that San Diego Comic-Con, he did like a whatnot, and he auctioned them off. And I didn't do it because they were going for like crazy prices. And at the very end, someone bid on something and didn't follow through and pay it for it. And so I was able to go in and I got it for about half the price. So I was pretty excited. So I don't know where it is. It's in the closet somewhere, but it's pretty dope, man. And I actually had Todd on my channel, and I was able to show him that I got it. He said, stop spending my money on him.
Fair.
Yeah.
Real quick, we do have roughly 15 minutes left in the campaign. The link is pinned in the comments section. So if you haven't backed the book, go back the book. 15 minutes left. But yeah, I know Drew would greatly appreciate it, as well as the team at Clan McDonald. Tommy, is there like a dream piece that if you could get your hands on, you want to just get?
Well, I'm a huge Conan the Barbarian fan, so any original art from like Robert De La Torre, like some of the recent runs, I love his art. I think he is like a match made in heaven for anything Conan related. Joe Jusko would be amazing. Dan Panosian would be amazing. Any of that original art would be incredible. And then obviously, which will absolutely never happen unless I win the lottery, something from Frank Frazetta that he did for like Ace Books or something like that would be absolutely insane to have Conan related. But yeah, that'll stay in the dream bucket. I don't see that coming true anytime soon, unless the lottery becomes part of my life.
Fair. I get that. You mentioned Frank Frazetta. I was like, bro, I never even let myself start wandering that high because I'm like, it's a ways away.
It's so far away. I mean, I can see it, but it's very blurry. That's how far away it is.
We'll get those prints or those Frazetta books, and we'll just hold them closely.
Exactly. I mean, I think that's the way to go, man. In fact, Sarah Frazetta, they just released like an art book of some of his most famous art pieces, John Carter, Mars, and all through here, man. It's nice. That's such a unique style, man. And then with the stuff that he did with not only John Carter, but all the Conan stuff that he did back in the day, I don't know, it's so unique, man.
Was it this one?
Oh, yeah, you got it. Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. Oh well, someone gifted it to me. One of my followers gifted it to me at the Tucson Con. He just walked up and handed it to me, and I was like, "Is this for me?" He goes, "Yeah, I backed this. Like it was a Kickstarter." I was like, "Oh, I didn't even see that."
Yeah,
nice,
awesome, man. It's so cool, man. I love Frazetta's art, and yeah. So one day, maybe if I hit the lottery, I play, so I've got that box checked. We'll see what happens. Dude, some guy in Texas where I'm at won. I think it was him in Texas, and then someone like in Michigan or Wisconsin, something like that. They just split that almost. I think it was
the Powerball
$1 billion.
I don't know where you are in Texas, but the guy that won is like I don't know where he lives exactly, but the town that he bought the ticket from was like 30 minutes away from me. I was like,
no way,
bastard! I'm so pissed.
Yeah. Oh. I'm in the New Braunfels area, right between San Antonio and Austin. Yeah, man. When it gets that high, there's just so many people purchasing at that time, so I know that
for sure
small, but
yeah, no, I am in East Texas, and yeah, I'm in that Tyler area, so they're just literally right there. And I was like, you jerks.
That's a lot of money to get for someone who like, you talk about new money, man. That like, what do you
man,
your first purchase when you
get
$400 million?
I mean, the moment I find out my ticket won, like the next day, I'm calling a lawyer and getting in touch with a CPA to be like, help. That's all I'm gonna say is help. They're like, help what? I'm like, oh, I'm the lottery, help.
Yeah. Like, what do I do?
Yeah. And then I'm like, but I do need some of this money to purchase A, B, and C. other
Yeah,
than
exactly.
that, help. So yeah.
My first call would be to Sarah Frazetta. All right, what can I buy? What's available?
I love it.
Yeah, that's what they say. They say when you know what kind of rich do you want to be? I want to be the kind of rich where you have to hide from friends and family.
Yes.
Yes.
That's yeah.
So true. It's so
Yeah.
true. You'll have
Yeah.
friends from
Well,
kindergarten to you, I think.
I got $8 out of that pot. I'm gonna let you guys know. Don't be jealous. I got 5 quick picks. I won $8 because I got one of the bonus numbers. I think it was 22 or something like that. Yeah.
Hey, still coming out on top. That's all that
Yeah.
matters.
Well, I'm 13 back, but it's okay. You know, I got
Okay.
$8 credit on az.lottery.gov or whatever it is. Yeah.
Nice.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I will definitely be one of those that if I win the lottery, I'm not saying anything, but there will be signs. Mainly, Josh, was that you that I saw buying groceries on Sunday in the Christian Bale Batman costume? Yes, in fact, it was. Thank you.
I saw you getting eggs, I think, Josh. That was weird, man.
Batman needs eggs. High protein.
Protein.
Drew, what's I mean, one, we can tell that you've got quite a bit of art behind you, but is there a piece in particular that you love that you have, and is there a piece that you would love to get?
You know, there is just when you think about all the artists I love and respect, and just I would love to have them on my wall. I can't narrow it down. You guys are saying the name like, yeah, I want that, I want that, I want that, I want that, I want that. It's just I just don't have. I mean, I want stuff that Bernie Wrightson's done. I want stuff that John Totleben and Steve Bissette did on Miracle Man and Swamp Thing. I want Ben Edlund artwork on the Tick. I want some of those pages. I want some Matt Wagner Grindle stuff. I want some Steve Rude Nexus artwork. It's just there's so much stuff that I would love to have. It's just it's like a kid in a candy store, like or a dog chasing cars. I'm like I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. It just. Brian Ball and Judge Dredd's. That's the stuff I would love to have. I don't even know who has those. I don't even know. Maybe Brian has all of those. I don't know. But
I think Scott Williams has a very large art. I don't know if you guys knew this. Scott Williams was collecting artwork since like the early 70s. He posted up. He has a oh god, what is it? He has a Sergeant Rock cover. That really popular one that by Boland with like all the detail, the close up. Yeah, he owns that piece. Yeah, he's a big original art dude.
Wow.
I think that's why he was drawing comics is to like Art Adams was drawing comics so he could afford toys. Like that was literally why he started drawing comics is to make money to buy action figures. I think that's why Scott Williams was like trying to get in, like to make some skrill to support the art habit. Yeah.
I need a side shop for that too, for action figures. They're getting expensive, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I was looking at some of the Marvel stuff that's coming out and I was like, oh dang, that looks nice. I was like, oh, $27. I remember when toys were like $5 and $6. Come on now.
I know. My wife's giving me side eye constantly, man. Like I used to be a stickler. I have I would say I have 85% of what McFarlane has produced DC wise since 2019 when he got the license, but over the last like 2 years I backed off a lot because the cost of just keep going up. And to be honest, I have, I don't know, 60 Batman. Do I need that 1986? Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Damn it. You're not but I did back off quite a bit, man. I did get a couple of the Dark Stars though because I love Green Lantern. And so I got both of those. This is my newest editions right here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize they made Dark Star action.
I didn't either.
They just hit stores. So we got this one in Target today, and I got this one at GameStop about a week ago. So
nice.
So I think that's John Stewart right here when he became a Dark Star.
Oh yeah, that was many moons ago when that happened.
Oh yeah, that's what is it? Was it 80? No, it wasn't that long ago. It was.
No, it was in the 90s. Yeah,
it was in the 90s.
Is that the Travis Charest era when Travis was on it?
Yeah. It was like 93, 92.
93, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it was in the 90s, not the 80s.
Those were the only Dark Stars books that I purchased because of Travis. I was like, he's kind of like Jim Lee, but more like there was something about his work that was just more rendered. I don't know what it was. My buddies and I picked up on it. I was like, It's like Jim, if Jim was like a really condensed version of Jim, like just everything was tighter, you know.
It's like so many artists were trying to emulate Jim, like he had a popular art style back in the early 90s or something. I don't.
Yeah, it was weird.
So weird.
Real quick, we are in the final 5 minutes of the campaign, so just remember that link is pinned in the chat. Go check it out. Go back the book. If you back the book and maybe didn't get a cover you wanted, go pick it up. Or if you back the book and maybe you think a friend would like it, let them know. 5 minutes. Go get a good cover. Get some nice curvy tatas while you're at it. And then also we've got Matt Cheesemil coming in the house. Oh, what's up, brother? Skirt. What's up, my Gucci ninjas? What's up, brother? Nice to see you.
That's
man,
awesome.
I love Mad. I met Mad on Zax's channel, and he served, and he's got some just freaking hilarious stories. But my favorite was him accidentally watching Brokeback Mountain.
Love it.
Accidentally.
Yeah, I wonder how long you watch until you realize I'm not sure this is what I thought I was going to see. Like, I don't know what that timeline is. I've never seen it myself, but I would be really interesting to see. Like, is it at the 15-minute? You're like, wait a minute, things just don't seem like I thought it would be. Right?
That was my thing. Well, I jokingly gave him shit about like, oh yeah, you accidentally, you know. And he's like, no, come on, man. Like, I'm overseas. The only thing we have to watch are these bootleg copies. We didn't know what this movie was. We're like, oh, it's a Western. And then he goes, it just goes right into that tent scene. There's no buildup. And I was like,
really?
yeah, no, you're not wrong. But yeah,
Awesome.
Matt's a really cool guy. He's got his channel, so you guys should go check him out.
Yeah, I just looked him up right now. Yeah, for sure. That's awesome, man.
I would say I've got a couple of art things. I found a guy at a convention that I really liked his stuff, so I've picked up some of his stuff because he's not overly expensive. But a guy named Arron Mychaels, and I kind of, when Shelby was talking about the crow, that's his painting of the crow up there. So he did that just from being a fan.
Awesome.
But as far as original art, I do have a Batman piece on the wall over here. I've got some stuff. I got a commission that I had Freddie Williams do, and he was like, what are you looking for? So I did two characters, kind of like torso up, and I picked two of my favorite characters for him to do. So I did Midnighter, and then I got Illyria from Angel, because I think they're two just badass, brutal characters. But I think my pride and joy is I won't say the artist, but I was getting a commission done from a certain artist that was at Dallas Fan Expo, and that person was very slow, and slow is fine. But we hit a due date when it was supposed to be available, and then I tried reaching out and was getting no response, and then I tried reaching out again and then was getting no response. And after 3 to 4 months of no response, I was like, okay, well, this feels like I'm getting bamboozled at this point. So I got that money back, and I put it into Jonathan Mark Spartavecchia, who did Bear Pirate Viking Queen. And I got two pages from this book that I absolutely love. And just really fantastic painted work. I'm going to go full screen for a second.
Yeah, please.
I wanted this page, and when I mentioned it, he was like, "Oh, this," and he's got it framed in his house. And he goes, "Yeah, I'm not selling that." And I was like,
"I don't blame him on that, Josh. That's pretty dope."
I couldn't blame him either. But I ended up getting 2 pages. This is one of my favorite books from 2024, and I got 2 pages from this book, and I love it, man. So
I've never read that one. I'll have to check that out.
It's honestly, it's a unique book. It's written very heavily in theme. So it's not like a driving plot. It's really like, hey, we've got a thematic message here. It's 3 oversized issues, and it's about conquest and the benefits you can see from conquest, but also the damage that it can do. So I really, really enjoyed it. But yeah. Awesome. And then I'm the type of guy that I've also got Jay Lee. I had Jay Lee do a commission. One of my favorite characters is Huntress. And I asked if he would do a Huntress for me, and he's like, yeah, what version do you want? And I was like, man, as long as it's Huntress, I want you to do your thing. You can mix and match costumes, kind of do whatever you want. But he did this for me, and took the kind of old school late 80s, early 90s with the legs, but then did the more modern top. And I was like, hell yeah.
That looks amazing.
So, and look, if you want some original art, Jay Lee's, he's not overly expensive. He's a guy that you can get good stuff for pretty cheap. So, you know,
stuff too.
Yeah, you catch him at the right show, you can get him for next to nothing. And El Paso, my buddy Andy and I, we almost went in on it. He had a double page spread deal at El Paso for like $700.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, dude, we should hit him up. And then on Saturday, that same deal was $2,100. It was on a Friday. Yeah, so I was like, we didn't pull the trigger, man.
That is something that I always do. I always go in on the first day of a con, and I kind of scope out and see who's doing commissions and kind of what the prices are, and like that's the first thing I do. And usually I'll go to someone and be like, hey, you know, and I mentioned, Tommy, I mentioned this earlier, but I've gotten to a point that I'll ask, what do they like to draw? Because sometimes artists get stuck doing something for a book and then getting that niche, and they've got another thing that they love, and that might kind of influence me to ask them to do something else. But
that's kind of a good idea too, because I think they get a little bit more exciting. You probably get a better piece out of them if they could do something that's a little more unique, right?
Well, and I will say this was a learn for me. I was at San Diego Comic-Con working one year, and Alex Sinclair, you know, who does colors, had a booth, and he was doing commissions, and I was like, dude, I didn't even realize, you know, you drew. And he was like, yeah. And this is where I wish I would have asked questions, because he loves drawing animals, and he loves drawing like machines, like vehicles and stuff. And that was some of the stuff that I saw that I was like, dang, this looks bomb. And I asked him to draw me a character. And look, it wasn't the best. It was still pretty cool, but it wasn't the best. But had I had the mindset that I have now, I would have been like, what do you like to draw? And when he's like, I love animals and I love this, I would have been like, can you draw me a sick ass Batmobile?
Yeah.
Like,
I was thinking that in my head. Yeah.
And I wish, because his cars and his animals, like, oh my God, they were fantastic. So I tell people like, yo, I know we think of him as a colorist, but this guy could draw some incredible stuff. Just go look at some of his work.
For sure.
Real quick, we got our my undead man in the house, but Nosferatu, who's now Ernest Ferratu, the vampire, coming in with no homo, but I want to marry Josh and adopt AJ together. Oh my God. So Nos is in the same kind of group with Zax, and AJ is one of our friends that he's got a channel as well, does some stand-up comedy. He's been on Kill Tony a few times.
Oh wow.
We harass AJ like nobody's business. So, and as always, shout out to Jay Bowman. Jay Bowman over here. We're this way. So
hey,
Nos
we're here. We're talking about comics. Let's do this.
There was one time that Nos is like, dude, that guy looks like Jay Bowman. And it's stuck ever since. So
that's hilarious.
Yeah. Nos, nice to see you, brother. Thank you for coming in. And I think we have hit the end of the stream, or the end of the campaign. So balloon, confetti, awesomeness. Yeah. Congrats, Drewski.
Congrats, Drew.
You got to feel good about this, man.
Yeah, I do. It's a good feeling, and knowing it's just the beginning, you know. So we got a whole string of stories we're going to be telling for this, and I cannot wait for the next issue. And I'm only going to cheerlead it harder.
For sure. I mean, as always, I'm excited for you. I'm really proud of, you know, the growth that you're seeing within the industry. Also, your growth as a writer. I keep telling you this. I genuinely think you're getting better as a writer. And I am jealous of how fast you work. But yeah, I'm happy for you, man. And, you know, it's crazy times, because I know you're like, yep, this is done. And now we're going to tee up another book coming out soon. So as much as you want to be like,
yeah,
I know it's going to be all right back into work.
No,
so,
the minute I relax, the minute I take a break, that's the minute I know I've failed. That's all I know.
Yeah. Well, for your own health and sanity, make sure you take a moment every now and then to just take a deep breath.
I'm saying Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5 tonight at Alamo Draft House. So yeah, take a little
Heck
breather.
yeah. Awesome, man.
Drew probably has 50 issues of Naughty and Nice already kind of mapped out, knowing Drew.
Oh, I think he said
15, but he's
16.
kidding.
Okay.
Yeah. All completely scripted and ready to go.
Yep. I could see that, man.
Drew, are you gonna have I guess like a backer kit that like is that still gonna be open for an extended time if people want to contribute later?
I'm not sure. I have to talk to Steve and Russ about that. That's really their call on that.
Cool. Well, we will keep you guys in the loop on that as we keep going, because clearly we'll be here Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then anything you want to say about the book just to wrap up the night, man?
Like I said, this is the opening gambit, for the whole thing, and little Easter eggs, stuff that's going to happen throughout the series. It's going to be popping up in this book, in this issue, and it's going to be like nothing you expected from Naughty and Nice before. And I hope you guys stick to it, and really realize that we put a lot of time, effort, energy, and creativity into this series, and it's going to be worth reading.
Nice. We're going to go ahead and start wrapping things up. I will say quick thanks to Joe Corallo for hopping on. Good friend. I always appreciate him. Great mind for comics, and always has a fun contribution to whatever we're discussing. It was nice to meet my potential father, Steven. We're gonna check into that ancestry tree and see where we're related and how. And Carrie, it's always nice to have Carrie on as well. But Shelby, I'll kick it to you, man. Promote yourself a little bit.
Yeah, so there's my website right there. I am currently, I think I have some pre-orders open for my, so in lieu of Inktober, I don't partake in Inktober just because of the copyright thing. It bothers me for promotion purpose. I call it Shelbtober now. So I just do, so anyways, the book that is pre-sale on my site right now will collect my sketches that I do through October. They'll all be in one. Obviously, I'm a huge fan. Todd McFarlane is like the reason. No offense to Mark Silvestri, who was already collecting his books, but when 298 hit, I decided I'm going to be a comic book artist. I was only like 9 years old, but I was like, I'm going to do this for a living. That's when I made that choice. So, yeah, dude, my brain just stopped. I don't even know what's going on right now. Sorry, I'm looking at my Soundwave figure over here. Yeah, go to my website. You can buy some stuff. No, I was thinking about something you had said earlier. The genealogy thing. Yeah, sorry. That's where my brain went. I'm at a show and Derek Robertson comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, we're related." And I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, 23andMe." I was like, "Really?" I was like, "Oh, that's cool." The funny thing is we started talking because people always bring me, because of Robertson, they would bring me his Wolverine books or, The Boys or Transmetropolitan or whatever. And I'm like, that's not me. They're all, yeah, it is. I'm like, no, Shelby, he's over there. He's over there with Mike Malvey. He's over there with, whatever, whoever flew him out. Yeah, he came over. He goes, yeah, we're related on the Black Irish side. And I was like, oh, that makes sense.
Nice. That's always. I feel like it's always kind of cool.
It isn't. Yeah. So no, you never do know who you're related to. You just
really don't. Yeah.
And yeah, that's why you don't date girls in the same town. That might be your sister. You don't know.
So we used to have family reunions, and I swear to God, I had a guy that I knew for 3 or 4 years, and then we found out we were cousins. We're like, huh. But he lived out of state, and we knew each other from different, like, as crazy as it is. I worked for a church when I was younger. We knew each other from church trips. And then he was in town, and I saw him at Walmart because I was going to get drinks for our family reunion. And I saw him in there. I was like, dude, what are you doing in town? He's like, oh, our family's having a get together. I was like, oh, sweet. Cool. Go check out, leave. And then they roll up to our family's place. And I was like, wait, what? How are we related? And it was this weird, okay, well, Aunt so-and-so, well, she married him, and then this is there. And I was like, oh, gotcha. Great. So it was always a yearly thing of like, oh, so how are we related?
It's like I used to, when I was working at the video game company Burst up in Mesa, every Wednesday night we're over at what Tilt to Kilt is, right? It's like a Twin Peaks sort of place. So we're at Tilt to Kilt for karaoke night, right? I get a DM on my Facebook from my old roommate in California's daughter, and she's like, "Hey, how do you know so and so?" And it's like me with like the DJ who hosts all the karaoke. I'm like, "Oh, he does karaoke. I see him." She's like, "Oh, that's my biological father." And I was like, "What?" Dude, like it's a small world.
Yeah.
I swear to God, it's a small world. And then I'm like, "Oh, I didn't know. This is why you don't get involved in people's business." And then I tell him like, "Oh, hey, I was roommates." And then all of a sudden all these people start dropping like flies from people I know on Facebook and stuff. I was like, "Oh no, this is a can of worms I was not wanting to be like in the middle of." Oh, bad news. But anyways, yeah, small world. Never know. Nice. Don't date your sister.
Don't date your sister. What are you talking about? Around these parts, we say incest is best. Tommy, go ahead and shout out your stuff real quick, man.
Yeah, I just like a podcast standpoint, I have Joe Harris on Monday, and he's a great writer, and I've had him on before. He's a lot of fun. I got Christopher Priest on, who's coming on. Again, we might have to move the date a little bit back because it seems like Joe Quesada, if you're not seeing his artwork, like I know he's a good artist, but I think some of his best art right now is taking place in Marvel Knights. But I have a feeling he's even slower than Jim Lee when it comes to art because they keep issue 3. So I might have to push Christopher Priest off because the whole purpose, I guess issue 3, Christopher Priest said a lot of things are going to come out in issue 3 to explain a lot of things. And so we want to have a podcast where we kind of talk about that. So I have him coming up, working with Mark Silvestri because he has The Darkness, a relaunch. So he's going to be back on the channel. Todd was supposed to come back on and then something came up. So I'm still working with Image. Fingers crossed I get him back on. I always enjoy, he's just a loose cannon. You never know what he's going to say. He just, and he runs the show, right? It's not like conversations, wherever he goes, you just kind of flow with it. And sometimes he goes in really weird spots and you're just like, let him run, man, because people like that about him. But yeah, just working on a lot of interviews and it's a lot of fun, man. I enjoy that part. So yeah, just check me out at World at War Comics, and yeah, that's it.
Nice. I love it. Drewski, if people want to follow you and all the stuff that you're doing, all the things that you're writing, where can they find you, man?
You can find me on Instagram, Dolan _Waddick. You can find me on Facebook, Dolan Waddick, and you can find me at New York Comic Con at the Comic Mint. I will have, I believe, 3 exclusives there. I'll have Depths of Valor. I'll have the Golem, the one shot that was tied into Unholy Nightmare, and Silent Nights. We're doing I can't say what it is, but yeah, we got some big stuff.
This is live, Drew. This is live, bro.
Yeah, so many times I've gone to like praise something that Drew's doing, and I'm like, oh yeah, and I can't wait for you.
Wait, I got a binder of art right over here. Let me get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you're killing it, Drew, right now, man. You're killing it. So many great titles have come out, man. Congratulations about today too. That's amazing.
Nice.
Thanks, man.
Agreed.
Yeah, and so much stuff as well I've done with Shelby that's going to be coming out. Just both those books that we did with Marat, they're going to blow people's minds when they see the art.
Yeah, this is a good spot to jump on with Drew. He's going to get too big. He won't be on these shows pretty soon.
I know, right? My time
no,
with
honestly,
him is limited.
I know a lot of writers, and he has outproduced. I think in the last year and a half, Drew, you probably worked on more volume than most writers I know have in like 5 years, dude. Like honestly,
yeah,
it's pretty crazy. Yeah,
busy, man. So, he's busy. It's incredible.
Yeah,
I love it. I love it though.
It's my dream. I always wanted to do it.
You're reminding me of 1998 Robert Kirkman at San Diego giving away free copies of Battle Pope to get people to walk over to his table.
That's where I'm at. That's what I want to do.
Yeah. I mean, literally, I remember him and Otley sitting there like, and I was like, this looks stupid. I remember looking at it and being like, now I'm like, you got a cover gig? Thanks, bro.
I kind of wonder
Transformers.
If that's even worked out for him that much.
Yeah.
Yeah. He can barely afford eggs.
Yeah.
I do think it's only a matter of time before things even. I look. It feels weird to say blow up because he stays so busy, but you know, it's just like get those reps in and it'll happen. So
absolutely.
But yeah, if you would like to enjoy Drew before he blows up, we are here usually Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Phrasing.
I have to plug Wes because I'm here in place of Wes and Aaron tonight. But go check out Wes's channel, Thinking Critical. A lot of great content over there. I'm sometimes there on Saturday mornings. Drew is there every Saturday for
Best of the week.
Yeah, I was about to say Top Comics, and I was like, nope. But they're covering the best of the week because you guys never talk about anything positive on that channel. But yeah, no, best of the week every week. And then I just personally want to say that I have enjoyed tonight. I've enjoyed taking the past like roughly 3 hours to just hang out, have fun conversations, talking about stuff we love. It's been a crazy week with a lot of discourse. So I will always accept having a place to just come be nerds, come talk about things we love. And if you're watching, there are more things that are going to connect you with people than separate you. So find those things. But thank you guys. Thank you for joining in, chat coming in. Thank you. And for everyone that backed Notti Nyce The Return, I'm not involved with that book in any way, but thank you. I like seeing my friends succeed. I want my friends to succeed, and I will always support my friends in their ventures. So with that, we will go ahead and wrap up. So our main man, Drew, can go watch his movie and take a break for a little bit. But until next time, thank you, everybody, and have a good night.